Ava. You hear bells ringing in the town. They mean danger.
What? Is there anything, when bells ring in the town, is there any, routine that people are supposed to follow? Like people are, oh, the bells ring, everyone hide in place, or whatever.
Did you have fire drill practices?
Yeah.
It means it's coming from the south. It means there's danger at the southern gate.
Okay. Ava, I guess, would probably be in the shop, or in the Physicker's place, working with Lily at the time, and hearing the bells, she would grab her kit and tell Lily, like, I'll be back, and she's gonna run out and start heading towards the south gate as fast as she can.
Yeah, you get out into the streets running south, and you see some people ducking kind of into their homes. You see one of the guardsmen take up a spear running south in an adjacent street to you. You see Sally the baker kind of out in the street with an armful of bread, her eyes wide. She looks at you. What's going on?
I don't know. Just get somewhere safe and get with other people. She just keeps running.
Heading south, you hear the booming register of Vedrian's rifle. Farther from the south, you see more people running in the streets. Up on a rooftop, you see the silhouette of something strange. Something small. Is it a goblin? Wait, no, it's not Gwen. It's something else. You see, catch the silhouette of Kobold. It's Kobold, bigger, skin almost like rock, running across the rooftop. It's got a bow, a short bow in its hands. It pulls out an arrow and knocks it. It's aiming at someone on the other side of the roof.
As she's been running towards there, and immediately upon hearing the gunfire, she's been casting in preparation for something, fearful that the worst nightmare that the puddings have somehow come back. I guess seeing this kobold, she knows what a kobold. Yeah, like you said, it's not like any kobold she's ever seen. Firing an arrow. She just without hesitation, she tries to push it off the roof if within range. She just tries to mentally kind of like push him to stumble and force his arrow out of his hand and hopefully tumble him off the roof.
So as you reach out toward this kobold standing on the roof, he's drawn back the bow and he's aiming at someone you can't see. Describe, like, what's the process? What does Ava do when she does this?
This is unlike any other ability that she has, which is magic, a spell in which she's learned. There's no manner of there's nothing that has to be manipulated. There are no words or incantations. There's no gestures or somatic components to this. It's something purely out of concentration that she can do that just sort of alters and pushes force around. But generally, when she does it, even though it's completely unnecessary, almost involuntarily, the same way a child from 1998 would play Pilot Wings on a Nintendo 64 and move their body in order to try to shift something around, even though it doesn't do anything. She throws her sort of hands sort of towards the thing as if to try to push a little bit harder.
Make a... Whatever should I use? Wisdom? Make a wisdom ability check.
Oh, do you want me to use the ability, or do you want me to wisdom build check?
Just make a wisdom ability check.
Okay. Is that the one you add proficiency, or just wisdom?
Yeah, you can add proficiency bonus.
All right, it's a 24.
Ooh, yeah. And the kobold, the arrow, let's go in the wrong direction, flies, hits the end of the rooftop, and you see the kobold go tumbling down off the far side of the roof out of your line of sight. And then you catch another bit of movement to your right, and you see another kobold running through an alleyway, crosses the street up ahead of you. You see a couple of the townspeople running for cover.
She shouts at it and says, "What are you doing? Stop!" trying to get its attention, not knowing what's going on.
Roll intimidate.
Intimidate? Oh, good. There we go. You know, I'm gonna keep that, I think.
Yeah, the creature skids just off for a moment, looks at you, hisses, and runs down an alley. You hear someone scream.
Yeah, she panicked, sort of sprints after to try to see what's happening, where the screen's coming from, and what he's doing.
Yeah, you spin around the corner, and you see one of these kobolds faced off with one of the town guards, one of the old dock workers. He's got a spear in his hand, and the kobold in here in an alleyway. There's an elderly woman who stumbled past the town guard. And she's running off into the adjacent alley, and he takes a thrust at it, and the kobold jumps back. You see it pull a wicked metal knife, crudely fashioned from the back of its belt.
Yeah, trying to get the creature to yeah, she begins to try to cast a spell. She speaks a gesture towards the thing that didn't listen to her earlier, still confused as to what's happening, and she casts a spell. She speaks a few words and then sort of attempts to reach out and focus on the constellation of energy that's sort of inside the creature, and tries to sort of bend it some to affect it, and have the creature constitution. Okay.
Fails.
Perfect. His disadvantage on that attack that he's trying to do against that whatever he's trying to do, and if she can, full action, she's also going to try to pull the creature away from the guard mentally as a bonus action.
Yeah, you see this kobold starts to pull the dagger around, and it looks like it's going to make a throw at the town guard, but you yank it backward and kind of set it off its balance. It throws the dagger, and it misses wide, and the dagger goes tink, 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 skidding across the alley as the creature stumbles back towards you. And you see the guard moves forward, and he stabs the kobold through the chest with a spear. His eyes are wide, he looks at you and nods.
She sort of nods back. Her eyes are still wide and panicked, and she looks around and remembers the other kobold that stumbled off the other part of the house. And she begins sprinting back that direction, trying to see what's happening, just keeping an eye out, trying to look for any of her friends or anyone who might know what's going on or why these creatures are attacking.
Araya, Peach, Salazar, Salinger, Casey, Charlotte. Now you've emerged from the tunnels. You're heading back towards the town. You can see the walls of the town constructed. You can still hear the bells. You can hear the bells ringing. See, the southern gates of the town are closed.
They're out here too? I told him to go tell the guy to back off, right? Didn't I? As they're running, he says that to whoever's alongside him.
Still in your mind link? Or is this like a whole
Oh
new
yeah,
day?
everyone in the mind link hears it, but whoever's next to me, he says aloud too.
I actually didn't hear the beginning of what you said there.
They're in town too? I mean, I told him to go tell their boss to back off, didn't I?
I don't think they need to listen to you, Casey. I don't think you're an authority over what the heck these kobolds are, and I don't think that dragon thing gave a crap what you said. We need to get to town before they rip everybody else that's left to shreds.
Where's Yev?
Charlotte doesn't even bother to respond. She's just focusing on running as fast as she can.
As you guys are moving across the field, there's a bit of rustling in the winter wheat nearby. On the tops of it all covered in snow. You catch a glimpse of the head of one of those kobolds kind of pop up for a second, duck back down into the brush or into the wheat.
Latte will. Oh, go ahead.
Maybe at the same time. Casey pulls a couple daggers out of the air and throws them into the bush.
Disadvantage.
I think Shalati at the same time alters her trajectory so that she's moving toward where the kobold vanished, and hopefully not in the way of the daggers, but we'll see.
First one is a 16 to hit.
And you hear a yell kind of within the wheat, and some of the wheat flattens out, and Shalati, you come upon a kobold that has a dagger in its thigh, and it's kind of rolled across the ground. You see it scrambling to try to get up.
She is immediately going to try and grab it by the throat. So I guess that'll be a grapple.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, actually, I think she'll attack it and then.
She may not hear this, but as soon as you see the dagger,
So she's going to make an attack and then, with her bonus, grapple. So she basically is like going to punch it and then try, while this day is try and grapple it if she hits with the first punch.
Okay, sounds good.
Sorry, I'm pulling up my character sheet now because I foolishly did not. Alright, unarmed strike. So, ignore the rage. She's not raging.
Yeah.
So that's a punch.
He punches Kobold across the face, and it looks dazed. Head snaps to the side.
And then she will use her bonus to grapple, which is athletics, opposed athletics, I believe.
Oh, yeah,
same result.
Got this Kobold by the throat. It's snapping at you, struggling.
I think she's going to start dragging it out of the brush, and yells, "Does anyone have any rope?"
We have an already made harness made out of our leftover rope, like on at least me, because I had no chance to take it off of me. Shimmy out of this like rope contraption. I'm pretty sure we could use this.
Peach has one as well and would follow Araya's lead.
So you throw ropes over to Shalati. As you guys are doing that, you see a kobold climbing up the side of the wall of town. You see it pulls its bow off its back and knocks an arrow. It's aiming at one of the town guard's dock workers that are up on one of the turrets.
So
Absolutely not.
Go for it.
No, I don't mind us like absolutely just like being like.
Yeah, we'll simultaneously do just like Charlotte and Casey did. Sal makes a whistle and a click, and then points, and Poppy's gonna dash with all that extra speed she has directly in that kobold's vicinity.
Araya will light your way with a bit of offensive magic. They didn't like any of this. Maiden. Psh.
Poppy ball.
I didn't think to fastball special her. I think she runs faster than I could ever throw her, actually.
I think fastball special has to be another humanoid, right?
Ooh, that's a failure. What's it look like as you hit the creature with your spell?
Dazzling light, though, being above ground is not quite so blinding as it illuminates, streaking from where we are straight to the creature and hitting it in the back of it as it's climbing up the wall, hopefully alerting the guard that maybe something's up.
It screeches and the arrow fires off, missing the town guard. Describe as Poppy. He's dashing in to finish it off.
Well, this isn't Quebec fast, but it's very fast.
as you see only Poppy for a second, and then you just see the grass kind of shaking back and forth until she leaps up to the top of the roof where the kobold was, and then skids down the kobold like a sled onto the other side, and you just hear some whimperings and don't see anything else. Maybe a tail lash.
Peach, you see Shalati tying up this kobold that she's apprehended, and you hear a bit of movement leap behind you. Spin around just in time to see a kobold leaping through the air at you with a knife in its hand. What do you do?
Peach pulls her rapier. She does her best to fend off the kobold, and she yells to whomever's near her, "They're coming from everywhere!" So she tries to parry.
Some sparks as its your rapier and its dagger clashing. It stumbles a little bit. There's an opening. What do you do?
She makes a stab for it. She in the opening that she sees, she would attempt to make a quick step forward, just 1-2, almost like dance movements, and she would try to catch it somewhere vulnerable, the armpit or the neck.
Make an attack roll.
I'm realizing I don't have my rapier on my chart.
You could have swore you did.
I really thought I did. How do I add that in?
You can probably search it in the
compendium. Thank you.
For now, you could probably just do a d20 plus proficiency, plus dex.
Would that be okay, Chris?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just roll d20. That's 11 plus your proficiency bonus plus your dexterity modifier.
So that's plus 3 plus 3. Oh, sorry, plus 3 plus 6.
Plus 3 plus 6?
My dex modifier is...
No, that's probably your save. That's probably your save.
Yeah, it's my saving throw. That is my saving throw. Yes, so it is 3 and 3.
All right, that's 17. That'll hit. Tell me a story as you finish off this kobold.
So as Peach steps forward, she darts with her mother's sword and pulls it up and through, surprisingly easily. And she looks over her shoulder at the folks there. Do we have a plan? What are we doing? Are we trying to capture him? Are we trying to kill him? That'll end the turn.
We have one. I don't think we need any more. For the rest of them, if they think they can come into our town and attack it, then we show them what results.
Casey turns to Ez and says, do you think they're all coming from the hole? Because if we close the hole, there won't be any more.
Yeah, I guess that's been said. I don't think we saw any other openings.
I mean, they came across the chasm because we had the rope across, isn't it? Although, I still closing the hole still a good idea. That's what they want to do.
I think we should close the hole. Yeah.
A bunch of them
Right.
came up anyways, but I think we should close the hole too. They came
And
up
she's
before
the-
we got there.
Wait, what?
They came up before, Yev ran in. Remember, he cut the rope, one of them, and some of them had already got up and in. So I still think we should close it off, but
I don't think we knew that because we had left Yev there and then he ran when they showed up after we went in.
oh, okay, I'm getting out of character knowledge mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah, we just no Ev wasn't there anymore.
Well, no. Well, we knew that Esmond came because Yeva told him, so we know what happened to Yeva at least. But
I wasn't sure we knew that. Okay, yeah.
I think she, if the kobold is tied up at this point, Charlotte is going to toss it over her back, and it's just gonna keep running.
Yeah, I think as she does this, Casey is just behind her, and he'll look at the kobold in the eyes as he gets tossed over her shoulder. He says, "Should have listened to."
As you approach the gates, you see one of the guards looking down at you. Oh, they're in the town!
The doors are closed.
Yeah, the gates are closed.
Let us in.
All right. And you start to hear the gears turning and all the wheels, and the gate starts to.
Casey yells up, "How many?" Never mind. Doesn't matter.
Oh no, Lord!
A lot. Not as in you have only said 3, maybe 5.
Maybe there's another hole. She is also going to basically throw the tied up kobold down on the ground and calls up to the guards. One of you keep a watch on this one. Maybe we can ask him to coach us later.
You see, one of the dock workers takes the tied up kobold, kind of slams him in the wall, kicks him once. I'll keep an eye on him.
We don't abuse prisoners in Lux.
Oh, sorry.
Peach, who just killed a kobold, kind of looks side-eyed at Salinger. Oh?
He wasn't a prisoner.
Casey
As
grins
they
at-
continue moving, Sal will have a treatise basically about the justice system of Lux.
No, you got to give it to us.
Oh, do I?
Yeah,
have
no,
to,
you,
yeah.
you don't want to gloss over that. I want it.
Oh no! Oh no!
While we're running.
While we're
Gotta
running, I'm gonna
convince him
get
not.
real
So-
winded.
Convince me I'm not a murderer
It's
here,
important.
Salinger.
When you
We can't let justice be governed by emotions.
The only
cannot-
reason our society got to the point that we're at now is because we treated prisoners with respect. We are at the very beginning of this empire, nothing more than several warring factions that could barely get along. We don't know where this relationship will go even after this particular conflict, so we can't just go around abusing them and severing any possible future
Okay, well, I
ties.
severed that last one entirely in half, head
That's-
from body. So, I think I've severed any relations we might have with the kobold people in future.
It's different in combat. We don't know what that individual's role was in the larger scope of society. All we did was, James, how to do while I'm running, barge in to their home, and this could be one major misunderstanding, but for now, they're enemy
They barged
combatants.
into our home.
We both did.
Casey grins at the.
Everyone gets some inspiration.
Yes. Casey grins at the chaos unfolding in town as they're running through, and he says, "I haven't met many, but they sure live up to their name, little and bold." As he sees one jump across the roof to another roof.
You guys spill into the town square, and there you see Ava, and you see 3 kobolds kind of surrounding her, and it looks as though she's in front of the door that has some people hiding inside.
So, while
Ava.
politics here, Sal, are we going to kill him?
Enemy combatants, yes. Once they're captured, no. That's the short one. We'll talk more about it later.
Casey throws a firebolt.
we only needed one prisoner, and we should treat it with respect so we can get more information from it. Right.
And
Everything
in the
else,
meantime, we'll kill all his friends and comrades. Yes.
Yep. Unless
So that
they
they
try to
attack the
talk to
kobold.
us reasonably. Yes.
This is an oversimplification. Please attack.
Casey. Roll your fire.
I guess Ava's is against the door. Her shield is out. She probably looks. You can't actually tell. Her mask is down, so you just see an owl mask and it's a very petite person standing in the face of these 3 others, even more petite creatures.
Yeah, as Casey runs up, he waves his hand in a certain way, and rather than snapping to produce a ball of fire, as he moves his hand, the flames just come out of it and shoot across this long distance with a 15 to hit.
cobalt hits him in the side and he goes stumbling. You can see the ore of his skin glowing where the fire hit. They're resistant to fire damage. You see one of them whirls around on all of you. Fires an arrow. Who's in the front? Oh, Shalati. An arrow comes flying right at you. You see it coming, though.
She just goes to the side, jinks to the side a little bit, and keeps running, pulling out the...
Peach. An arrow hits you in the shoulders. Shalati dives out of the way.
Oh. Damn it.
Is it the other shoulder? Is it both shoulders now?
I had 2 arrows. Fuck. I've taken the previous arrow out. Now this one's just a safe spot.
Actually, I just remembered all the arrows that during the chasm fight, I got shot a lot. I forgot about that.
You see this kobold quickly trying to reload its bow.
Do I take damage from this arrow?
Yeah.
Okay, how much?
1 damage.
1 damage, thank you. The previous arrow did 15.
I'm positioning myself
Oh, yeah.
kind of advantageously behind Sal and like casting Sacred Flame, just like streaks of light out from behind him. They're small, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Shalati's absolutely attacking one of them.
Yeah. You see him. He's desperately trying to load his short bow as you come running up on him.
Should I make an attack?
Yeah.
Bad one. It was only 11, so...
You take a swing and he rolls across the ground, across his shoulder, pulls out a knife. He's leaping up at you. Salandra, you get there just in time as you see this kobold leaping at Shalati.
He is going to try and just dunk him with the shield on his way up, like through the air.
Make an attack.
Just pretend that says shield as it misses.
Yeah, you swing, but the kobold just grabs onto your shield, kind of scrambles up, climbs up onto you, and makes a stab at your shoulder.
Well, that is frustrating, he says as he flails with his other hand.
So it's a 19 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Oh, all right. You see this kobold climb up onto Salinger and bury a dagger in his shoulder.
I have my staff in hand and like almost reactively like start beating the kobold that's on your back. Less effective than my magic, but she was surprised. Ooh, actually, even better. I have a close range thing that she like begins to lift her her staff and then just lets loose a burst of light that sort of like anything she doesn't like near her will get zapped a bit.
Salinger, you take 11 damage, and then there's a burst of light from Araya.
Ow, it stabbed me.
You only took 1 because you didn't actually get it with that, so it was...
It has to succeed Constitution, but it's radiant.
No, failure. What happens?
Whoa. Almost surprised, she lifts up her staff but from behind, and you just see like the brightest flash, almost like photography kind of, just like light just like emanates from behind him, imprinting just a silhouette of Sal on the back of your retina as this thing just gets the worst sunburn of radiance and slips from his back, falling limply to the ground.
Yeah. A couple hits the ground. One of the other ones makes a leap at Ava. Dagger in hand. Ava, does a 20 hit you? I've been fighting these. They've been all out throughout the town. Chaotic. Attacking people at random for almost an hour now. This has to be one of the last ones.
Oh, wait. He rolls with disadvantage. I'm full defense because I'm against the thing.
Oh, yeah. Disadvantage. Oh, yeah, that'll miss. Yeah, so he swipes at you with the dagger, but you managed to fend it off. What do you do?
Yeah, I try to cast a spell with it up in my face to push it backward. So once again, she uses the same magic that she did before, or attempts. Yeah, so DC 16 con save. Speaks a word. Okay. He is pushed back 5 feet from her, and then have him make another strength saving throw.
Succeeds on that one.
Yeah, succeeds on that one. That's fine. He's pushed back 5 feet, and as she sort of reaches in and sort of discombobulates a little bit of the alignment inside and makes it a little bit harder for him to focus. So the next attack he has, everything seems a little bit blurry, maybe a little bit hazy.
I don't know how close we're sticking to actual mechanics here. Is it cool if the Kobold gets pushed back towards Shalati, and the Shalati will try to basically try to open hand?
Do it.
So as it comes toward her, she rears back and tries to headbutt the Kobold.
Ooh, 20 will hit.
And then she's gonna grab it again, as it gets mildly stunned from her head hitting its own noggin.
Yes, yeah, you smash it and grab onto it.
Doesn't necessarily have to do it. Other people can move, but I think her next action would be to try and use it to hit the next one in line.
Oh yeah, you see one that's lifting up its bow, aiming towards Ava, but you're there just in time.
She spins around and uses the Kobold that she has in the hand to clobber the other one.
Make it.
Yes.
You smash one of the kobold into the other, and he goes flying, tumbling over the edge, and falls right onto the hot surface of the hearth. And it's flailing around as the bottom of it starts to glow as the iron ore kind of on its skin starts to heat up. Just hear it hissing. What do you guys do? It's starting to get up.
Oh, she'll grab it again then.
Oh no, not the one that.
Unless someone else wants to act.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're still holding that one, but.
Okay.
Hot shot from behind Sal's back.
Yeah, Ava tries to cast a spell on 2 of the ones. One that is not, one that Shalati is not holding. She casts a spell, and 2 beams fly out like little bits of starlight. I'll make an attack roll. It's just guiding bolt.
There's only one left. Shalati's not holding, but it's starting. It's cooking on top of the thing, but they are resistant to fire.
I see. Well, he's now also glowing on top of the thing.
All right,
That's
this
it.
bolt hits it, and now it's glowing. Peach.
Peach pulls her rapier and tries to put the thing out of its misery. Just, oh god, and just slashes.
Tell me a story.
She's looking at it as it's this kobold on the hearth is roasting like so many shared meat dishes over the years here, smelling a little bit like barbecue in that good charcoaly way where you know there's like some good dirt on it. Yeah. But Peach also knows that this is, well, Salinger told her to be nice to them, but also kill them, and at least this one's, she's doing it a mercy. So very quickly and efficiently, she beheads it.
Off goes its head, and you see it roll from its body. The kobold is dead.
That's the last one.
You look around. You don't hear any more screams. You don't see any more movement. One of them struggling in Shalati's grip.
Knock. Casey yells from a little distance. If you need a knife, just... He pulls one out of the air and throws it down. Just take it out of the air.
Doc, let's see if anyone needs our help.
She nods towards Aurea. Does anyone in front of her look like they're messed up or really bloodied?
Peach has a bit of
Sal is
damage.
bloodied. Yeah.
Not as much as
Okay.
Sal, but
Okay. Yes. She nods. You see, again, these almost constellation of light sort of flare with inside her. These different points that sort of flare up and then settle back into her, and she is going to cast heal on Sal, and then one on Peach as well. So Sal, you'll get this first one, and Peach, you're gonna get the second one.
And Asmund says, okay, I'm gonna go check. Come on. And runs off.
Araya takes a minute to take stock of the town and see if anything maybe catches her attention, like the sound of someone who is hurt. Or they came in from the south. What are the nearest places where the creatures might have gone first, kind of a thing.
Yeah, look around. I don't think it takes you too long. You see somebody wounded in a nearby alleyway. It looks as though, you see some smoke rising from a fire kind of in one part of the town. It looks as though, there's been a lot of
All right, I'm going to help and heal what villagers. I could do rolls for it, but I'm going to help heal some villagers.
Okay. You don't need
Casey.
to roll for this kind of a hand.
Yeah, Casey will put a hand on Araya's shoulder as she's moving to do that and says, I'm going to take care of the fires.
Oh, yes.
As if we have a way to close the thing.
You look, it looks like you see Ez running down towards the clockwork heart.
He kind of looks at everyone and says, we're probably going to try to close the hole. He points to where Ez is running. I'm going to take care of the fires. And he runs in that direction.
A lot's happening real quickly. I would have expanded on that, he says as Casey keeps running.
You can still talk to me, you hear in your head.
Oh, yeah. Stab wound, I guess I lost that for a moment. We should talk to Vithedrian before we seal that hole. What you found saying World Forge might have larger implications than just plugging up some dirt would solve. I can feel you exasperated in your mind, Link.
If you insist, but honestly, the verdict's input is not needed.
I don't know if I necessarily want his input, just lend a hand. You really should have paid attention in history class. Sal's going to start cleaning up the mess of kobold bits in this space.
I think Charlotte is still holding the kobold, just like sort of straight armed to the sun.
Not the decapitated one. This is the live one, right?
We have 2 live kobolds? I thought we left one with the
Apparently.
guards.
I was originally going to slam it down to the ground, and then things went on, and now I'm like, I guess Charlotte just has a living kobold in her hand. And it seems a little bit late.
Out in your last living one?
She's like, well, I guess I can't kill him now. That seems rude at this point.
The worst moral quandary. You're like, 5 seconds earlier.
So it doesn't sound like there's any more screaming or sounds of clashing elsewhere, as far as I can tell.
It sounds as though the immediate danger has ended. There are a couple of moans and cries of people who are wounded. But tell me what you immediately do with this kobold, and then we're going to pass just a little tiny amount of time.
Okay. I guess since the window of opportunity to kill it in combat without feeling bad about it has passed, she's going to tie him up.
Take more rope, trestling him up.
She looks at Ava and checks over to make sure that she's okay. And then, having done that, she's going to run off to try and find her family.
A half hour later, we'll say, you've gathered back near the hearth, kind of the open part of the town square. There are 4 of the town guard So many other people are wounded, but these are the only casualties that you see. You have two of the kobolds all trussed up and tied up in rope, their jaws tucked shut. Where would you have just stashed them for the moment?
I guess off to the side where they can be watched. We don't really. I mean, do we have a jail? A drunk tank?
No, nothing like that.
We have a poppy, and the pen that we had intended to keep her in.
That's like
And
an
a puppy.
hour out of town.
Oh, shoot.
Or,
it's all
yeah.
out in the fields. Okay, you can just stuff them in one of the empty houses. Times.
With a guard. We'll just keep them there for now.
You hear the clunk of Adrian's prosthetic leg as he approaches and looks at you and says, "That seems to be the last of them."
The last of them
okay?
that came to the surface. There's a lot more, I'd wager.
What have you encountered?
Short answer? A buried upside down civilization that's been overrun by kobolds and some sort of dragonborn with iron skin. Longer answer you should sit down for.
Do you know what would have provoked these creatures to attack? We've not seen them before.
We went to investigate the space below the town. Yes, we did it.
Well, it sounds like they came across before they saw us, or at least before we saw them.
Yeah, we never saw them, but when we were leaving, they had overrun our sentry.
Desmond said that came into town yelling about the kobolds. And it sounds like they came across the rope that we had strung across the chasm. So we gave them a way out, to be sure. I don't know about provoked.
And the tunnels that you have mentioned, these are the same south of the town.
It is the sinkhole that sank in some time ago, shortly before the jellies, before you came to town. I don't actually remember which direction it is compared to town.
Or the cause is completely random.
I thought about saying that because Casey said I was in dynamite, but
So somewhat out of character since I can't see everybody. If everyone is a-okay after that small amount of healing, great. And if not, okay. I'm just gonna do a round while we're sitting here. Ava's gonna be casting some spell. Okay, it's gonna take a bit of time. So that's what she's been doing while they're having this conversation in this meeting.
As she's doing that, Casey kind of sidles over to Doc as she's mid spell casting. I mean, you did well against those kobolds. That was nice work.
She's continuing to focus on her spell and just sort of gives a nod. You don't get the well, it might be hard through her mask, but she seems concentrated on what she's doing.
But it seems like when you were backed against that wall with the 3 kobolds there, if you could just pull a knife out of the air. You have to, in that sort of situation, it seems like.
She continues casting, but she kicks you in the shin just slightly as she's trying to concentrate.
No.
Charlotte is not bloody, but she is definitely looking pretty scraped and winded.
Oh, I can. Araya sits. Well, Araya can help if needed. If anybody's looking a little worse for wear.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to do something.
Oh yeah, you've got a thing.
Well, maybe we'll talk about later.
Sure. So
Yeah, that's
Vithedrin
right.
says, just about an hour ago, these creatures arrived at the walls just after Yev's warning. They were able to scale the walls easily, spread throughout the town, not fighting like a conventional army. They attacked people at random, whoever seemed weak or slow. I think this is all of them. No,
You
this
think
seems to be
they're
the extent of our losses.
too many still? They or their big dragonborn masters or whatever were also responsible for the deaths of the mayor and many others of the town.
Yeah, there's plenty more under town. Verdict if you want to go talk to their leader.
No,
You've seen the leader of these people.
Assumed he had that way about him, way he carried himself, way he looked at us when we ran.
yeah, an elder dragonborn. But there was also the blacksmith dragonborn. We've seen two, minimum, that seem to be the ones more authoritarian than the kobold.
Start from the beginning. We went down further because we knew there was something down there and didn't want to be surprised by it again like we were before.
Previously,
And
though, we had inclination that it was a monster, not like an actual civilization. It was a beast that dragged prey to a hole and fed directly, like, not.
we weren't totally sure because we did find this and she tapped the glaive, which is
Yeah.
well made, if not refined. We
But-
went down.
Yeah. The sacrificial hole, though, is entirely different than what seemed to be a feeding nest of some creature. We'd found, after the pudding attack, a nest where people had been fed upon. Further investigation into it, we didn't find any such beast. Instead, we found a sacrificial pit next to this obelisk with writing. Well, Casey saw what it had said.
Yeah, it talked about the World Forge. Remaking the world.
Vithedrin narrows his eyes a little bit. You're sure?
And
Yeah,
that is
I
the
read it.
larger issue. Mm-hmm.
Read it myself, of course, I'm sure.
I have
We went-
sketches.
We went further in, Oraya and I, into the next chamber and saw an enormous dragonborn with iron like skin working as some kind of forge over lava. It looked like a lava forge or something of
Magma.
the sort. Sure. And magma.
Well, but magma is before it reaches the surface, and it was at the surface, so technically it'd be like, well, no, we were underground. No, that's a good point.
And then the kobolds came and said something to the big one, and we decided it was a good time to leave, and they attacked us on the way out.
So we had seen hide nor hair of them the entire time until we were leaving.
We're leaving out one, I wouldn't call it a small detail because it's a massive expanse of a flipped upside down dwarven city that had been superimposed with these kobolds and dragonborns runes and writing as we got deeper. I can't
Oh,
help but think that the tremors, the earthquakes, and whatever's going on just below us can't be completely unrelated. Were there earthquakes before you traveled by train here?
Didn't the earthquakes begin with the tower
What-
falling?
Yeah, sorry, I was just making sure that I have my information straight. Yeah, Vithedrin says, the earth shakes, though not completely unknown, became significantly more frequent since their appearance at the tower. You see, he's kneeling down next to one of the bodies of the dead dockworkers at this point, puts a hand on his chest. So these creatures clearly pose a threat. You say they live nearby.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Wait,
thinking of.
How long were we walking underneath before we reached the sacrifice pit?
So it takes you about half an hour to get to the tunnels, and then it took you and say an hour or so to get down there.
Relatively nearby, about an hour over this rocky, upside-down dwarven city. Wasn't Arya? Didn't you say that you recognized that symbol that we saw?
Yes, I've been reviewing older texts about more ancient religions, and this one seems to be following a god of craftsmen. They're said to use ritual sacrifice to strengthen their weapons, to make the weapons that they create far more powerful. That they take the strongest warriors of their enemies, and it's a bit vague how, but use that their life force maybe, or well, no, I'm guessing it's a very interesting text if you'd like to read it. It's only a book about this thick.
Fedrian stands up. He says, "For the moment, I'm going to see to the security of the town. At sundown, let's meet again and discuss what we know what to do." He turns and starts heading back to the south gate.
As soon as he leaves, Sal's gonna say to the rest of the group, he's holding something back.
No,
What?
he's just
How can you
worried
tell?
about.
I saw his face when Casey said World Ford, and she asked if he was sure.
What do you know about the World Forge that I don't know about the World Forge?
And some of us maybe didn't pay super close attention when Gilgan was teaching world religions, so maybe we could get a reminder, because that was some scary stuff. And what is the World Forge?
Gilgan didn't go over it explicitly, more specifically, but everybody knows the basics of what was before Lux, right? Cataclysm, bad times, got together, good times. The World Forge caused that is kind of the summation of some of those stories and songs. Different versions of them say different things. The one that seems most poignant in my mind as we were going through a flipped upside down city was when the mountains rose up from the ground and walked and flipped the cities upside down and then pulled them into a pit of fire. And there was a lot of imagery in that place that reminds me very much of that thing that sounded like one of those parables meant to scare us about what it's like to not be part of Luxian society and civilization, but may have much more foundation in reality than something I thought the verdict would have jumped right on anyway when he heard it. Not to frighten you or anything, but it's been freaking me out since I heard you say it, Casey.
Casey looks out at the door that the verdict left out of, and he's like, "You're right. That guy's worthless. We're on our own."
That's a strong judgment of
Oh,
someone
really?
who's supposed to have strong judgments.
Why is it? I feel like this has been a thing with many of you. Well, what are you so against the verdict? It's a verdict.
I'm not.
Supposed to know things. No, not you, Arya. Peach definitely does not like him. I don't know that Casey likes anyone
I just
outside of the town.
kind of think he's rude and
I like people. Just not that guy.
I didn't love
Salad doesn't
his
care for him
very
either.
He seems fine. Like, I've never had a bad conversation with him. He's polite. I just don't.
He's a little pro-human, don't you think? I mean, no offense, Ava, but didn't he say that only humans can be verdicts and that, like, you know? I
I
mean,
think It just makes them
Wait.
rare, right?
Yeah, just real quick. I don't know if everyone knows that. Does everyone know that?
I don't think we were told
I
that.
don't. Did you tell us that? Because
No,
we
I
weren't
think
there to hear it. Okay.
she told Casey, I think, because he showed up the night of, and they had a conversation. So if Casey told other people, then that would be common knowledge. But
we gleaned it from his thoughts as he was running.
Ava has not said anything about only
Casey
verdicts can be human.
Is a notorious gossip.
I thought would we know in like a
that be
land of
common?
verdicts? I thought that'd be pretty common knowledge.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Is it?
I haven't ever met a verdict before. I saved his life, or I mean, I helped save his life. His life is worth saving. I don't regret it any single day. I worry that he's judging me whenever he looks at me, but I have nothing to hide.
That's the thing. I don't think he completely trusts us with as much as he should, given the circumstance we all find ourselves in. That's all. And if someone doesn't trust you, it's hard to trust them back.
I mean, we are 18-year-olds. And you said
Also-
yourself that you're like a 15-year-old in
Okay,
verbal
but
terms.
Yeah. Why are you hanging out with us, youngin?
Also, I don't. Vithedrian has been very helpful in certain aspects. You know, he did help us with the very, very large Arnakis, but I wonder about his priorities. You know, he's here till he's healed, and then he's off to fight that necromancer or whatever he's doing. And
Well, we're
he's
off
trying
to
to
fight that necromancer when
yeah,
he's
because he recruited us to it. I mean,
But
who's
it's
to
another
say?
danger.
He can't even ride a train properly. He's just a train wreck.
Casey, you should stop talking about trains.
I know. I just don't. I don't get good vibes from him, but that could also just be me. He's never been anything but nice to me.
Ava, taking her mask off. Chris, did you say that the bodies are in the same room with us?
You're at the hearth. You're outside of the town square.
Oh, sorry, but the bodies are there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. After having finished casting and sort of like as people were talking beforehand, she sort of like was tidying up, make sure the sheets and everything were kind of over them. She pulls off her mask sort of towards the end of this conversation. It seems like she's concerned, a little worried, and then jumping off of what Peach has said in the conversation, she sort of says, "Yeah, I think he's. I don't know how to feel about him either, because he's a verdict, and they're like really, smart, and they're really well trained and stuff like that. But, it's kind of scary because I don't think he's. I think the vibes that you guys are talking about are because like none of us matter, and this town doesn't matter. What matters is the kingdom, because like that's what they're, sworn to protect, and so like I think that that's just like his duty, and so that I feel like that can be. I mean, now that I've seen him up close, I feel like that can be kind of scary, I guess.
I mean, he's probably. I don't blame him for having his own priorities. To me, Shepherd's End matters. All of you matter. I don't care that much about the kingdom, especially since we are on our own now. But if he feels differently, then he's going to go off and do his own thing after the necromancer. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't trust him for now when he hasn't done us any wrong.
Yeah, no, I just think he's kind of intimidating, I guess, that's all.
I trust him in a fight. I trust him to have our back. I wouldn't trust him to
save us.
I trust him to save us. I just don't trust him with like secrets.
Well, to save us if there was something more important worth saving nearby.
Yeah.
It's fair.
I don't know how good secrets are around him. I feel like he's really good at figuring out secrets.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I thought that all the abilities that verdicts are known for don't work anymore.
I mean, I feel like I don't know. I always thought from what I heard about them, they were like trained because, they have to make those decisions about, in cases, when people are accused of stuff. So like they have a lot of practice at trying to decipher when people are telling the truth and like what the truth is and stuff. So I don't even know if he has to rely on any kind of magic for it. I feel like he's just like that's why again it's really just intimidating. I just think he sees a lot, and I don't know, it's just kind of scary or whatever.
I don't like him. I don't like the way he looks at Ez.
He looks
If it's
at
him
us
or
weird?
us, it's us.
Whoa. I've only known him a couple of months. I've known
How
you.
does he look at Ez?
Yeah. What have you seen?
Weird. He just,
Or
like that.
the second one? Oh, that's not good.
Shalati tries to think back to see if she's ever noticed anything like that, or if this is something Casey is making up because
Sure,
bitch eating
Casey's
cracker
making it
syndrome.
up. He's looked at me funny, but it's usually because I said something stupid.
He doesn't look funny at me at all.
No? Oh, well then you should talk. You should be our verdict face person.
No.
Yes.
I think you might be a little racist.
So are dwarves, but
Well, I know. I've experienced that too, but not
dwarves.
all
That's racist
dwarves.
in and of
And
itself.
reverse racism isn't a thing.
So what are we going to do with the kobolds that we have?
oh right.
Do you guys know why they attacked us?
Well, we could certainly ask the ones that we have, and maybe don't mention that some of the other ones got killed by a certain girl.
Total, we killed over a dozen, so I don't think the.
It could
Yeah,
be
I'm
a
pretty sure they
resources
know
thing.
that their pals got killed. Or they need more sacrifices for their sacrifice pit.
Well, I mean, I didn't see a lot of edible things in the caves. Maybe they leave the caves periodically to get tasties.
Maybe they eat rocks. They do have very iron
they
skin.
do have...
Maybe they eat each other. Why does it matter? Let's talk to one or not.
Yeah,
Wait.
this is true. We should talk to them.
Wait, I think that maybe like that would actually be a good use for trying to get the verdict for. Like I was saying, I think they're really good at.
Oh!
Yeah, I think he'd be good at questioning them, and like
You should go
verdicts.
ask him to use his verdictness.
Do you think he speaks kobold or whatever they speak?
Oh, but you do, right, Casey? So you should work with the verdict.
Well,
Maybe he
I-
knows one of
Yes.
those magics that helps translate things.
what do kobolds speak?
I
Well,
thought you read the
understood that
stuff.
column, but there's no.
You
there's not
talked to them
necessarily-
already.
Well, I read the column and I told him in ignorant to piss off, but
The kobolds were also babbling on it in common, basically. Get off and things like that. I
This
think
is
we can
true.
probably talk to them in regular old talking.
I
Although I
ask
think,
the
Casey, you
verdict
should
if no one
really-
else wants to.
I'll go with the verdict, I guess. I
Alright,
just don't
let's
want
go.
to go. Okay. Is everyone okay? As she looks around, Sal, you've got 28. Everyone else got 13.
If you need
Sal's
more,
fresh and clean again.
I've got it, Ava. You should get the verdict. He's your best friend.
Okay. No, not that. So she's gonna
Hey, you
follow
humans gotta
Shalati.
stick together.
Shalati looks very insulted at the notion that the verdict is Ava's best
She's
friend.
not.
what talking is
She's
she
never
talking
braided his hair. The sick burn.
What is the verdict's hair situation? I don't know if we've ever described that.
Bald.
More mustache than
Right.
hair.
He's gray haired. His hair probably used to be a darker color because there's still some kind of salt and pepper in there. But yeah, it's almost entirely gray. Beard and hair. He's pretty sure.
Never
Like
got a
short hair.
played by for him.
Hmm?
We never got a played by for him.
Oh yeah.
Imagine an actor and now.
I've been showing a lot of World War II movies. I'm imagining Woody Harrelson in Midway.
Don't make him too hot.
I'll have to come up with something.
Everything has to be hot. This is
No. Chris, you've just been doing the voice wrong. He looks exactly like Jeff Bridges. He's just like the kobolds, man. Like I can't do a Jeff Bridges.
Interesting. So Yeah, no, he's he's like probably late 40s, human, extremely muscular, gray, like almost entirely gray hair at this point.
Well, they're off to see the verdict.
Yeah, all right. Oh, and just quick for Isaac and Casey. The kick was basically the equivalent of like doing like that, but with her foot. She didn't like literally like kick him in the shin. It was more like that, but her hands were busy.
It's fine. Casey can take it.
All right, yeah. She's following after or beside. Shalani.
You guys are going to meet the verdict right now. He wanted to meet at sundown.
Oh,
Why are they leaving so early? He said sundown.
I think I don't recall. Did he basically just go, I have stuff to do. I am away. I'll meet you at sundown?
He said he was going to go double check the security of the town, like the gate and everything like that, and all the postings and everything, and then he wanted to meet at sundown to talk with you guys about everything you guys know.
Oh, okay.
Share information.
How long is it until sundown?
You have several hours.
Are the like wounded and folks generally taken care of? And like if we go off and like if I say like Peach wants to go and wash cobalt blood off of her, am I like abandoning any NPCs who need care?
It depends if you want to participate. Yeah, there are people who are wounded. I think I should say the urgency of people's wounds have all been tended to already, but the people have minor wounds that persist.
Okay. In that case, maybe it makes more sense. Ava agrees to go with Shalati to speak with the verdict, or be the people to speak to the verdict later
Okay.
when he comes. And she'll help to tend to the small things, all the wounds, and do treatments of whatever comes in, you know.
Yeah, Peach will play nurse and assist with that.
Araya's gonna field medic and find the people that need help and assess and send them either home or to Ava as needed.
Make sure I understand the situation we're in. There were 4 killed dock workers just sitting in front of us, right?
Covered in canvas. Yeah.
I can't help the dead ones.
I know, but Sal need to deal with that, so that's what he'll be doing.
Did I find my family
Um,
when I went to look for them in the half hour in between?
yes, yeah. You found they had holed up in the Wanderlust. Actually.
Okay. If they're like fine, then she's going to help with, I guess, funeral preparations for the dock workers.
Also, do we know where Muna is, our pretty egg girl?
Yeah,
Peach would go and try to check on her, I suppose.
Okay. So Peach is off doing that. Alright, sounds good. Let's see. What's Casey doing this?
I think he was going to help Sal, then Shalati was helping Sal, so he's still helping Sal.
Let's see. Peach. Sometime later, you went and searched the Wanderlust. You went to the house that Shalati had arranged for pretty that girl. Muna. Let's see her there. It's you're passing through a street. You look down an alleyway. You catch a glimpse. You see a body of one of the kobolds on the ground. You see Muna's not very close to it, but kind of close, crouched down. She's got her arms wrapped around her knees. She's looking at the body.
Peach would approach quietly, but specifically making noises with her steps, and call out, "Muna, Muna, it's Peach, one of your friends. Hey, are you all right?"
See, like the hue of her feathers kind of flutters bioluminescently for a moment. She doesn't look your way, but she acknowledges. She's acknowledging that you're there.
Gonna come closer, okay? And Peach would approach, and if Moon allows her, she would kind of reach out and sort of pat the feathers down a bit. But only if Muna is like amenable to this. Peach would try to read the body language.
Yeah, it's hard to know at first, but she doesn't seem to have any negative response. You see her staring at the body.
She's smoothing Muna's feathers and sort of humming a little song. And as Peach looks down at the kobold, she says, I had to do that too. It's an awful feeling, isn't it?
Sleep?
No, honey. It's they're dead. That's when you get hurt so bad that whatever part makes you you leaves the part of you that's the body. And then all that's left is the body. And that's what we've got here. We had to take the person part away because they were trying to hurt us.
She blinks a few times and says, she'd already had her arms folded, but she reveals the claws on her end of her hands that are stained with blood. She says, bad?
No, honey. If he was coming after you and you did this to protect yourself, then you did a good thing. You deserve to live too. I had to do the same thing. And Peach will very gently motion to her rapier, which she's cleaned, but in this moment she notices a bit of kobold blood in the filigree of the handle, and she shows it to Muna and says, let's both get cleaned up. Do you want to come back to the Wanderlust with me? We can wash our hands and our clothes.
Okay. She stands up.
And Zenith.
Ava. Ava, are you on? Yeah, let's see first. A couple of hours later, Salinger, Charlotte, Casey, what have you guys, what are you doing for the bodies?
I mean, what's usually done?
Burial's been pretty common. Cremation's not unheard of. Some people are off into the sea. It kind of depends on the family, kind of the family traditions.
Do they have any family left?
No, these people weren't originally from Shepherd's End. These were people who kind of got stranded here.
I guess maybe then they probably had talked about if they were going to burn or bury them. And I assume maybe go and tell people who knew them what they were doing, so that those who wanted to could come by and pay their respects.
Mm-hmm. Where are you guys, and where are you doing this?
Well, if burial's been common, we probably have a space to make some grave sites that we could have dug in the same general area.
You get out to one of the fields, and there's headstones.
Shalate looks at the rows and rows where they've buried those people they could find from the attack, too many fresh graves. And if this is a couple hours later, so they've probably already dug the pits and the graves and buried them.
I think Casey would make short work of it as he just moves his hand and the loose soil gets excavated from the spots that they need. And while he's doing this and moving between the spots, it doesn't really speak. His focus is severe on the points of dirt. And if you're close to him, you feel that the heat radiating off of him more than normal. And he kind of like floats and dances between these graves. Once the dirt's excavated, he stops. Well, here lies the unlucky, huh?
Did people get told or gathered? Those who wanted to come?
Yeah, there are a handful of townspeople who are familiar with these town guards that have died. They're kind of gathered nearby. It doesn't seem like maybe anyone knew them too well. You don't see any deep grieving. There's a somber expression on a couple of people who have showed up.
Charlotte just looks down at the covered over graves and says, "Sorry."
These people were almost strangers, but Shawty, you probably spent some time actually, maybe in an impersonal way, training these men how to fight.
Shilin, Laurel, Trevo, and Harling. I think you did well, considering you protected the people of the town. You stood in the way so that none of the children died. And for that we thank you, and I'm sorry that we opened up the hole again. Whatever happens, I hope your spirits are well.
Sally the baker says, I didn't know them well, but they came by a couple times a week. Trevor preferred rye. It's so sad.
Life lost in combat is not a life wasted. They died protecting this town. We could all hope for so much.
They're brave. Very brave.
And their job's done, but ours, for them, is just started. It's our job to remember them, everything that we have. Speak of them often. Think of them when we can. Etch your names with the others. And hope the list doesn't get long too fast. At least we know where they are.
So it looks a little bit uncertain and confused by that last one.
The last one, at least we know where they are.
Yeah. Like a sort of a strange expression crosses her face. She says, well, Pelican was really bad at puns. even though we tried to do them all the time. Shellen, he always aimed too high. It was really easy to get into his guard. I bet that's what got him this time. Especially since the kobolds were so small. I totally forgot the other names I gave him.
Try 4 and something, but I can't remember the first one.
Gone
Nobody
and
knew
forgotten.
anything.
It's never too late to improve, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah, solemnly, eventually the people have gathered and start to depart, walking home.
Chris, are they all individual like graves, like a graveyard basically?
Yeah, there are varied tradition. Like, there's not a standard. There are varied traditions based on family of how you might treat your dead. But these were strangers to the town. These were people who'd come in on ships. Didn't live here.
For the older graves, not the fresh ones, I was just going to say if there's anything resembling it, all of them would have flowers on top of that have sprung forth from the dirt, and different ones. It's very pretty.
Hmm.
Oh, and I was away from AFK when you asked me something earlier. Just so you know, I'm back now.
Yeah. So, some hours after you've been tending to the different wounded in the town, there's blood on your apron. You seen all the people who needed help. No one too seriously injured. You'd already used magic to tend to them. So as you're arriving home, you realize the front door to your house is broken.
All right. I choose to opt out of this scene. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Seeing the door is broken into, a small bit of sweat starts to break over her. I mean, she'd left Lily inside the Physiker's place when she'd run to go help. She doesn't know if she came back, or if she did, but why would someone break in? And so many questions are just sort of flooding into her head, and thoughts seem almost a bit scattered, and she starts to sort of, she pauses when she first sees it, and then as these start to race through it, she starts to walk again as if with urgency, and then starts to run towards the door, towards the house, and without knowing it, she starts to call out Lily's name as she gets closer to the house. She starts yelling.
You get into the house and shouting Lily's name. Some furniture's turned over. Pots broken on the ground, or like a vase is broken on the ground. You see dead body of a kobold on the floor, bloods spread through the rug.
Yeah, she's starting to breathe still really heavily. She starts looking around. She's still yelling out Lily's name, and looking for any signs of her sister, and yeah, and God damn it, I can't even remember his name.
As you
Winslow?
turn the corners, as you turn a corner, you see Winslow kind of sitting in the corner. Some of his branches have been broken. Some leaves are missing. All of his oranges have been taken.
She glances around. She rushes over to where Winslow is, and sort of like starts pets his unbroken branches, just his leaves a little bit, and starts cooing to him and asking him, knowing he can't talk, but she's saying what happened as if he could, and trying to take in all the things that have happened to him and the state of everything.
You can tall by the where places his branches are broken. Somebody violently tore the oranges away, ran off with them. And the one cobalt you see lying dead on the carpet, you can see some kind of alien footprints in the blood going out the door. But you can see that in the throat of the dead cobalt is a little broken branch.
She pets him a little bit more and sort of like very tentatively sort of touches on with a little bit of the branches just above where they are. Starts getting upset and says, "Okay, just you'll be okay. You're gonna be okay. Okay, just stay right here." And then she screams out, "Lily!" Again, just making sure. She starts running through the house trying to see if her sister is anywhere inside it.
You run through the house. You don't see her there. You left her at the Physiker. Last time you'd seen her.
She satisfied that yes, okay, she did. She wouldn't have come back. It wouldn't have made sense. She doesn't even know if she could have gotten back here in time. They just came into the house. Starts to calm down a little bit and tries to compose herself as she goes back downstairs, I guess, towards where Winslow is, and then starts to try to mend his branches. She takes small bits of twine and sort of like with the branches, if they're broken, sort of tries to like mend them back so that they're held together. And for the ones that are completely broken off, does what she can. Would the mending spell work on a plant?
That's a living buddy.
Yeah, so she just mends him as best she can and sort of tries to tend to him, giving small amounts of water, and is just very upset by the fact that they would have done such a thing to him. So she talks to him the entire time, not certain what else to do, and knowing how devastated that Lily will be when she gets back, because of, in spite of how she can be, and in spite of how she sometimes treats Winslow, she knows that Lily cares very much for him. So when she finally does whatever she can, she takes the body of the kobold and sort of like drags him outside. She has to resist the urge to sort of be mean towards this corpse. Cleans up just a little bit, as best she can, to sort of tidy and arrange stuff just a little bit to make it look a little less devastated. And after trying to ensure that Winslow is as comfortable as he can be, she starts to make her way back towards town to find Lily and let her know what happened.
And Shotty, did you?
Out of character, I guess. I was just wondering, can you not just use a healing spell on him?
I don't know. Can you use it on plants?
Yeah, it's a creature.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah. Instead of, Patrick didn't think about that. My character.
I like you, Winslow, but not that much. I mean, you're a member of the family, but not that important.
All right, so having mended whatever branches she can't, sort of trying to put.
You're out of spell slots. You've been helping all these wounded people.
I would save one for him. I'm not gonna spend all, just in case. No, yeah, she does. She would. I'll go ahead and I'll even expend it on my character sheet if necessary. Bends the branches as best she can, and then she'll use magic to help ease his suffering. Oh.
Yeah, and you see some of the snaps in some of the branches begin to mend, and a fresh little bud grows.
Okay. Yeah. She's gonna then, I guess. Oh, before she left, I guess it would make sense. Also, she would have checked over just secured the house as best she could. Checked also the kobold to see if there was anything on his body, just in particular before she left.
So you find one orange in this little pouch.
She picks up the pouch. She puts the orange back inside on the table because it's Winslow's to give to who he wants. So she'll put it back inside, even let him push it or do what he wants with it. And then she makes her way, like I said, back towards where Lily is, and will just sort of look through the pouch as she's walking back and lost in her own thoughts.
It is. Is there anything anyone wants to do before sundown? When you arrive at the mayor's house, front door's open. You can see in the wide variety of maps of the area on the large table are some of a stack of books, kind of at the edge. Thedrian is there waiting, nods and gestures you inside as you all arrive.
Well, the people Stockholders were buried. Everyone left is accounted for. We do have those two imprisoned kobolds that I think we have them. Might as well question them. Seems like Casey can speak with them, or maybe at least can read the thing, so hopefully can speak with them. Depends on how much you trust him to relay what they say and what you say accurately. Oh, that is, we were talking about it and thought that you might be helpful being there, since that is kind of what you do, right? You question people and try to investigate things.
It is my responsibility to judge what is good or ill for the kingdom. These creatures may have information that's useful to us. Wise to keep some of them alive.
Chelsea straightens up a little bit at this, even though she also looks faintly embarrassed, remembering the second one.
I'd hope the mayor would have more information in his archives, but there isn't much here. Thought it might be useful for you to know we could share about the Old Forge and these creatures and what their intentions might be. Is there anyone who's not here? Should I just assume all the characters are present? It says, worshippers of the World Forge are a fanatical cult. Their likes have not been seen in a very, very long time, long before the kingdom. Thought all to be dead, destroyed. To see some remnant of them now is most troubling. I'd like to hear what you saw, what you experienced, or what you might know of these creatures, or what did you see down there?
Pretty much what I said already. We went along for a while, climbed over bits of ceiling. Took about an hour to get down there. Along the way, we came across a symbol carved into the wall that Araya had mentioned about this craft god. Got down to the area where I think it was Araya and Casey and Cypher had seen the pile of bodies before. That's the people from our town who had been killed and eaten. But there was just bloodstains left, nothing there anymore. Kept moving on. Found the pit of bodies in the middle of a big room. Lots of bones that looked humanoid. This obelisk with diagrams and words that we couldn't read. Did it have diagrams, actually? I can't remember.
I don't have not diagrams, but like
Okay.
Glyphs.
Words. Yeah. Many glyphs, strange in shape. Went through to the other side to another large room of magma and a forge. And there was a hall on the other side, or at least a door on the other side, but we did not get to go through it. The kobolds seem to climb out of little cracks in the ceiling quite agilely. As you saw, they seem to be able to scale walls very well. Not much of a hindrance for them. Did I leave anything out?
No, just that there was a lot more down there we didn't get to explore. Many twists and turns we didn't go through, and based on the amount of kobolds that came chasing after us, I got a feeling it's very extensive.
Oh, we saw two of those dragonborn. I think we mentioned there was the big blacksmith one.
Hmm.
Very big, very muscled. And there was an old one who looked like he or she, I don't know, had been through much. Twisted leg, scarred.
One
Had the
eye,
staff.
if memory serves.
And he set his staff on the ground and looked at us across the chasm. He did not show up until we were across and had cut the rope.
I've not seen such creatures myself before today, but I've occasionally seen depictions, less so these kobolds, but instead the dragonborn, ancient race of people, served an old god, believed to be long dead. It's strange that after so long, these creatures would persist and still bear a sense of interest in the old ways. Very clearly they pose a threat. There are many things that live deep in the earth, but seldom of interest in the far surface.
Well, they had an interest in the surface once before, didn't they?
A very long time ago. From what you've described, these creatures have taken up residence in the old ruins. They certainly didn't make them themselves.
Are they creatures that the dwarves fought before
Yeah.
the founding of the kingdom?
Are these the ones the dwarves tried to warn us about with the caves?
I wouldn't say that they looked like devils, though, or the dwarves seem to think that I resemble more of what was fought before, not a dragonborn.
My dragonborn have horns too. Some of them.
It is true. In time, sort of, the idea of what you fear might change. It's entirely possible.
Well, some of them were there, right? They didn't just hear about it. They actually were there to fight them. I mean, they're all mostly dead now, except for what's his name?
Dirge.
Again with the forgetting names. Yeah, Dirge.
Look, some of us are given gifts, and names are not mine.
Yeah, who could forget a name? I would never forget a name, especially if something was part of my family. I would
Someone
never.
you've known all your life.
Don't even know why you would suggest such a thing. What if we asked Dirge about it? Maybe he would know something. He was part of the group that was so adamant about collapsing the other tunnels. Maybe it's this kind of stuff that he was worried about coming back up.
Forces also sort of sound like a dwarf thing. Or am I out of character being racist?
Well, what they were talking about were the Durga that worship demons and devils. The ruins we passed through had some aesthetic similarities to what they might have been worried about. This world forged craft god thing's something else.
What does hurt to ask?
That wouldn't hurt to ask, but
Indeed. The terror to the abyss that threatened this land many hundred years ago devastating event, but these Iron Dragonborn, this cult, they've been thought to be gone and forgotten for a very, very long time before that.
Before recent events, I would have thought this was a stretch, but I'm going to ask it anyway just to throw it out to the group. If tears can go to other places, as we've seen a few, what's the over-under on them going to other times?
Oh, it sounds like Ez would know something about that, right? I
I don't know what
if
they're ripping through, right? Like, they're just ripping through space, like a space. What's on the other side? Who knows what the possibilities are? That's all I'm asking, I guess.
Some interesting and troubling thoughts, I wonder.
So, what are we supposed to do? Like, just close the tunnel?
I think we might have to do more than that.
Closing the tunnel may protect the town. Do we have any... I suppose we should question the captives. We need to have some understanding of what their motivations are, what it is they want.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we can send these ones back. Hey, don't come this way. This is not a place where... Maybe it'll be something that resolves itself.
Shall we go there or bring them here?
We were thinking that you might have a better sense of how to find out if they're telling us the truth.
Yeah, perhaps. Not all are eager to give the truth. Where do you have them kept now?
There's the storage house that was near the square. We left
That's
Poppy and Town's guard on guard. I assume we left Poppy.
I had been like, let's leave Poppy, but I don't know if that
I
had...
think she'd make an excellent guard because she could probably smell some things that we wouldn't be able to see.
I'm thinking of those pet treats where, like, you put them inside of something and the animal has to, like, get into it to actually get it. So Poppy just thinks you've put...
Just scratching at the storage shed thing. So it opens a hole, it's like snapping at them.
Yeah.
So, Pedrin says, no. If we have them bound there, better to go there.
Let's go there.
So you guys travel for a short time. Before too long, you're at the old storage house. To the, I guess, the wooden post, you have these kobolds bound to it. Adrian kind of eyes them uncertainly for moments. Says, Casey, you can speak with these things?
Yeah. Sure.
Perhaps they'll want to tell you what it is that they want.
Charlotte squats down next to one of them and undoes the gag, the bindings around its muzzle.
Casey, you can... It's kind of sounding like words to you a little bit. A little hard to make out what that meant.
Yeah, I think Casey would start out with Ignan. Probably more to Ignan and say, listen up. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You see about their eyes snap over to you. And they start to talk, and it's not quite Ignan, it's not quite Draconic, it's it's something close to both, and kill, serve.
So you guys are living underneath our town, and we kind of don't want that. So the boss guy, the guy that you guys report to, what's his name? The big one with the hammer and all that.
Priest. You? No, priest?
Yeah, we go way back. The thing is, we're gonna need you guys to get out from under our town. So,
Why
Right.
you with up kind? You liar. You
Casey,
help.
Casey kind of looks around at everyone there.
What's he saying?
They explain their demands.
Demands? No, they're our prisoners. We're the ones making the demands. And he goes back to speaking to the kobold. So, what's the priest trying to do under our town?
Fire. You serve the fire. God stares at you with eyes.
Yeah, of course. Can you guys do that somewhere else?
Let's go. Take. Become strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big freaking world. You can kind of serve the fire anywhere other than under our town.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, that's fine. The point is, we need you guys to get out of the tunnels underneath our town. I think your boss will be amenable to that. I can go talk to him if need be.
Yeah. You come to priest. Very wise.
Yeah. There's another guy too. Kind of, I don't know, janky. He had a missing an eye, maybe.
Oh. It's good. Yeah. You don't quite understand what it means.
Yeah, what's his deal?
Powerful.
Aren't we all?
How are you?
Were you not in the tunnels near the chasm?
Yes. Story?
Yeah. So, I don't know. much we're gonna accomplish here.
Untie ropes, we together eat them.
See, I'm not gonna let you eat my friends.
You are with people.
So these people here, they're with me. So you guys don't touch them, yeah?
Why? You come, priest.
Why is not a question I answer. You just do what I say, yeah?
I want to ask why. So frustrating.
Yeah, Casey will kind of puff up at this, and the wind whips up around him a little bit, and his hair brightens up and starts blowing back. And there's 2 snaps as fire erupts into his palms. Know why. Only do.
Serve the forge.
After this little display, Salati does the thing of like, sort of like, ask them if there's any other holes, if they got out, if there's any other way for them to get out of the caves.
Do you like touch his shoulder during this, or just speak?
She just speaks, but she's basically been looming over the kobolds since she didn't move away after she untied the gag.
Yeah, after she speaks, Casey is there, kind of puffed up and glowing red hot. And as soon as she's done speaking, he kind of immediately dims, and the fire comes out of his eyes, and he turns back to her, and he says, What?
Ask if there are any other holes, any other ways out of the caves, out of the tunnels.
Yeah, okay.
Would I don't know if anyone would try to stop her, but if they're tied up, unless someone does, Ava would have slowly kind of moved around and feeling a little bit safe and secured in this room with them tied up, is going to start using mechanical means to just try to patch up different wounds that are on the prisoners.
Asked you if you did.
She flinches, but holds back and just almost tries to ignore him a little bit and tries to tend to it, not interrupting what Casey's saying, just going about doing the work.
Yeah, Casey turns back sharply and says, Leave Doc be. Let her do what she needs. Your tunnels. How many ways are there to the surface?
Many tunnels.
Yeah, the big one by the ruins. Kind of new, yeah. Where are the others?
Old. Fewer up.
Yeah, the old.
Lizards.
Yeah.
Mean. Deep and mean. Priest, come. Make us strong.
This priest. Do they have a name?
Priest.
You just call him priest.
He's speaking it again. That's just a transition.
Yeah. Case kind of speaks to himself in Igdin. How much respect can they demand if they don't even know his name?
Hmm? Priest.
So I want to talk to this priest.
Yes. You come talk, priest. Priest, make you strong. You serve.
But I need you guys to stop attacking the town while I do this.
What? Ask question, can't ask question.
Yeah. So basically, one of the two of you is going to go tell your priest to stop attacking the town until we come to talk to him. Which one of the two of you can do that?
One of them looks, the other one's head's still tied up, I think, right?
You
I
can. Good.
tell.
Yeah, the one who's not head tied up. Alright. Because I think it's pretty clear which way this is going to go if you guys keep on.
You friends up people?
Yeah. These people, they're with me.
Neat. I have treasure.
Oh, yeah?
Treasure.
What kind of treasure?
Gold.
That's good, but the point of this is
You
that
take gold, me strong.
yeah,
Okay.
nothing wrong with being strong, but the point that you have to get is that we're going to send you back to the priest to deliver a message. To stop screwing with the town until we come and talk to you.
You
You need to
come.
tell.
Talk, priest.
Exactly. But you're going to go first and tell him I'm coming. Tell him Orthoclase, Feldspar, Calcio. And those of you who don't speak Ignan understand those 3 words, his name.
You are king?
I'm coming to talk to your priest. If you guys keep attacking before I do, there isn't going to be any talking. Can you do that? Can you deliver that message?
King of Up, come talk.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk to my people. And then we're going to cut you loose to go back to your priest, yeah?
Take words.
Exactly. So you just sit tight while I talk to my people.
Can't not sit.
Yeah. In case he kind of fades down, he was very bright and warm during this exchange, speaking Ignan, and it kind of rumbled throughout the room and the area that you're in. And he comes down out of it and kind of there's a little hiss as he cools down, and he turns back to everyone in the room. So I told this one that we're gonna go talk to the guy running the forge. He called him Priest. We're going to go talk to him. Get him to get out from under our town, essentially.
In the holes, the tunnels, are there any other entrances?
Yeah, a bunch, he said. Not really a way to close them all up, I would imagine.
Wait, so we're supposed to go down there to meet them? Is there no way they could come up to meet us?
I mean, they could.
It's going to be. It gets more and more difficult to cross that chasm each time. Can we just shout across it? They come to the edge, and then we go to the other edge, and then we just yell? Or you yell, I suppose.
I suppose you could do that. That's how I wanted to play it. The point is, I'm gonna meet this priest. And parlay, essentially.
The veteran says, there's obvious risk in that, but being able to speak with their leader might be very wise. I don't currently have any way of judging their power unless this creature has some understanding of their numbers.
Is there a time? Because Esmond's supposed to only be out a day from when he finishes the... What did he call it again? The door knocker? The door knocker. And so we need to go back and tell the, open the portal to let the deep one through. That's a lot to take care of, and it's 2 days out there, or a day out there, a day back. Or half a day, I can't remember the travel time.
All day.
I mean, we haven't scheduled a meeting, so we can do it whenever, but I basically told this little one to deliver a message to their priest to back off, don't attack town until I come to speak to him.
She looks dubiously at that one and says, so we should take him back?
Yeah, just this one.
What do we do with the other one?
He stays with us.
Like a hostage.
Yeah, Rhea. Like a hostage.
Guess
Why
we
don't
did
we-
just lose 4 people, so there's at least 3 less mouths to feed.
Fedrin says, well, whoever this priest is has just suffered a loss in their first skirmish. They may not be anxious to attack our town again so quickly. Sending a messenger may be wise.
Why don't we just send both of them? I mean, if they're both saying the same thing, maybe it'd be better to have a corroboration. And I don't know, we'd have to just like feed him or keep him tied up or whatever. I don't see why we'd keep this one. If we're gonna try to make peace anyway, right?
Doc. This isn't peace negotiations.
Oh,
It's negotiations off the terms of their retreat.
Or surrender.
oh, okay.
I think. Well, it seems like a society that's not necessarily one to show goodwill, So we have to appear strong. And 1 is a messenger, 2 is a kindness. Oh, how do we want to appear?
I think you're right, Araya. I don't think we want to be kind.
What was that second part of that obelisk you read after World Forge? You was remake the world. I don't think they care much for well, what we want out of it. They want to reshape it. It's going to turn into a fight one way or the other. That's my take.
Thedrian says, it's imperative that we understand the motivations of these creatures. Are they merely, they've been driven here in order to hunt, or do they have some interest in claiming land here? I cannot allow a threat to the kingdom to persist, and I have to know where they stand.
Sure. I mean, I'll ask him. You there? What's your priest mean to do?
Priest, there's old fire. Fire. Small. Fire. Big again.
Yeah, so what's his goal?
Big?
Just to make fire big.
Fire big. Oh, world fire. You are king of up. You will be happy.
Yeah, we may be able to work together. Turns back together and says, priest kind of wants to make the fire big. Basically remake the world in some sort of forge way. I don't know, it's kind of ridiculous sounding, like Kabeth's forge talking. Yeah.
Thedrian squints a little bit. That's
So-
Forge talking?
Yeah. I mean, her forge talked to her, but
And she's also been under a lot of stress.
look,
She's stayed up for a long time, working very hard, so
She also put the fire out, so probably won't ever talk again.
And I've heard her talk to her food too.
we've all talked to fire. The point is that
Telling a
I
muffin
mean-
to get into her belly is not exactly talking to her food.
it is a bit weird though when she goes, "Oh, you're so tasty, aren't you?"
I mean, we have two options. We go and talk to them, tell them to piss off, and they go. Or we go to them, not to talk, but to wipe them out.
Oh,
I mean, can't we have the second option if the
I
first
like
one
that-
doesn't work?
I like the not wiping them out option.
I'm with
Seems a bit
Shalati.
excessive.
Let's try talking first and then come back with the cavalry if we need to. Let's not go in weapons at the ready. That's not very negotiable.
Well, you
we
should
probably
always
have weapons
talk
at
very.
hand at least.
Yes, you should always carry at least a big stick.
I don't know if I should carry this big stick. They might not be very friendly if they see.
That's right. They
Okay.
probably made that. I don't know if they might respect you more for using their own weapon against them or not.
I think we have a quorum. We're gonna go tell them to piss off. First step of that is sending this guy to go deliver the message.
Wait, before you do that, I have a question for the people that went down there. And she like tries to step away from the kobold so that they can't hear her. And she'll gesture towards either Shalati or Casey or whoever was down there to like come over so she can ask them a question. Very quiet.
Everyone else in the room besides Fedrin.
Yes, everyone besides him. She's go away, you. She goes,
Sorry,
So-
I wasn't clear. Who are you wanting an aside with right now?
everyone who went down there, like you can open up basically anyone. She's just trying to make it so the kobolds can't hear what the question she's asking.
Okay, that's me. Yeah, you guys are all standing kind of separate from
Okay.
the kobolds.
When we send him back down, do you already know where he's going? Like, do you need to know, like, the tunnels? Like, do we have to navigate them again, or is it, like, really obvious, the direction? Like, if we have to go down there again, like, do we already know the route?
Getting back to the chasm should be fine, and I assume from there that you can probably find us on the way home.
No,
We
not
have a-
him. For us, if we had to go and follow where he went, would we want to know where that was, or do you already know?
Ooh, we should have some of us sneakily follow him in.
I thought you were weren't you drawing like the map of where we were, or where we went when we went down?
Well, but what if he takes a different route? He had mentioned that there are a number of ways through. But yes, I've got this map. And she pulls out her notebook, and it's got more drawings than you would ever want of a couple symbols and an upside down dwarven city. Like, it's ridiculous. But there is like a map, which successfully led her out again.
I was thinking I would just take him back down to the chasm and eat him across, and let him go on his way. But I suppose we could just let him outside of the town and follow him back to see where he goes. Maybe it goes a different hole.
Well, I mean, maybe this wouldn't work, but like, is there any way we could give him something to carry back and make him think that, like, I was thinking if you could give him something and then, like, it could make, like, a small trail that he doesn't notice. Like, it's like a little thing of, like, oil that, like, slowly leaks out or something, or just, like, so he's carrying it back and, like, then there's, like, a small trail that he doesn't realize he's making, something like that.
A pocket full of crumbs, like the tale of Hangel and and Gretchen.
Yeah, exactly. But like he doesn't know that he's doing that. I don't know. Can we do that? Or
I always thought there were a lot of holes in that story. Going through the wilderness, leaving little crumbs. There's critters everywhere. There's no way you would have followed them back.
oh, well, maybe not crumbs, like something else. I don't know. It's just like there's a way. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know how we'd do that, but like that way no one would have to actually follow him. But if we wanted to like know if he did take like a different path or something.
I do have a flask of oil on me, but I mean, how do we make it so that it drips and that he's not immediately suspicious of why are we asking him to carry a flask of oil?
Well, if he have anything that he wants, we just put it, like, we give him a backpack of something or something that he wants, and like he carries it back. Like, do we know of anything he wants? Casey here, does he want anything?
Oranges?
Are you suggesting we send back an offering?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe like it would look like an offering or something, or maybe I don't know. I don't know how smart they are, but like something like that. Or maybe
No, we're not sending back an offering. We're sending back demands.
Okay, maybe it won't. Maybe the idea can't work then. Maybe it's too. Maybe it won't work. It's just an idea.
We could drop him at the chasm. And then, I mean, Shalati had a good idea of meeting at the chasm. We can talk across it. Give them our terms. And then they'll be on their way.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. It was complicating it. Yeah.
And if the message is delivered and instead it comes back with a whole lot of folks with bows and spears and daggers, what's our response, Ian?
Should be prepared for battle if it's a necessity.
Well, the only question I've got now is when are we supposed to meet? Because, like, if we're gonna meet across the chasm, do you want to just tell them to, like, have someone posted on the other side of the chasm as, like, a runner or a guard or something, and then tell them we'll be down in whatever period of time. And when we get down to the other side, the guard or the runner tells whoever to come up and meet us.
How do you think they keep time underneath the ground? It's not that they can see the moon.
That's true.
We could leave. Mhm.
Clocks. But anyway, if they leave someone, yeah, but if they leave someone posted there, that's what it doesn't matter. They know exactly when it's there. They're waiting for us, and they have an idea, like a general estimate, and then we don't have to worry about timing because they're just waiting for us to show up to go get the person to start the meeting.
I mean, if we went there and we shouted for them to come up, I imagine they would hear us. It might take a while, but at least we could just wait there.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of trying to plant something on him so that we can track him later, but I just don't know what that would be. Unless we sew an oil bag into the back of his... They're not wearing clothes, right? Are they wearing clothes?
They have
Wait.
they have like scraps of stuff. It looks like they've taken from others.
Two things, Chris. One, what was in the tiny bag that I got? That's the first question. And then I have the idea of what I'm going to do.
Oh, well, the tiny bag that you took. It has little like odds and ends that none of them look familiar to you, but it's almost as like if you found like the trinkets from some culture you don't understand.
That's fine. She'll give it to Sal. Okay, I know the best idea that I can think of. Rhea, your idea was actually pretty good. Right before he leaves, I'll give him a couple of... I'll get some fruit or something that's really, has a really distinct smell to it, and maybe Poppy or someone could...
Isn't
actually,
your nose the best nose out of all the noses?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess
Yeah.
maybe then I could
Or-
smell it.
Or we could have them walk across, I don't know, pig urine or something very odorous,
Okay, yeah. All right.
or like a perfume. Yeah.
We make him smelly, and then... Go ahead.
Interest. Ava, roll a perception check. Advantaged.
All right. Sorry.
Ooh, 26. You smell something citrusy coming from the one you've been talking to.
She's like, yeah, and then as she's saying this, she starts to get like a little bit angry, and she sort of cants her eyes towards him. And she goes to sniffs a little bit more just to make sure she's double checking. The one she's talking to, is that the one who's released and out of bound, who it doesn't have any bond?
You guys haven't untied him yet, have you? You just untied his mouth. Yeah, the one that Casey's been talking to.
She just sort of deflates for a second and gets like a little mad, and she cants her eyes and then looks at the ground and furrows her brow a bit and goes, that one attacked Winslow. And he broke his branches.
Surely he must die. Wait, no, I mean it.
I am pretty angry about that. I mean, I know we can't do anything, but like, I don't like letting him go now. She looks at him angrily. Anyway, the idea, whoever, I don't care, whatever, if he gets smelly, I'll try to smell him. And then she's like gonna kind of like fold her arms and kind of walk away. She's very angry.
What happened? Why do you? Did they
What
ever
do you-
tell anyone else about the Winslow or Winston?
Oh, everyone should know that the plant that's alive in her hand. It's like a pet, basically.
Sure. But I mean, like, about what she
Oh, the
found at
attack?
her house. Yeah.
Just now, she's just mentioned that one attacked Winslow.
Oh, she just said it now.
Yes,
Okay.
just
Sorry,
now.
I missed that bit.
No, it's no point. I probably mumbled it. Yes, she just now has announced that one did it, and she got upset and angry about it. And so she's not happy, and she's a little sulky now, and sort of less enthusiastic about offering ideas.
I mean, the other one probably heard all the same stuff that Casey said, so I'm sure I could say the same thing, maybe. But I mean, what would you do if we kept them? I don't think you're not going to come in and poke them with sticks.
No, I'm
What
not
about
gonna
you?
do anything. I'm just mad. I don't know why you would do that.
No. Doc. Do you want vengeance against this guy?
I
Or
mean,
we could just arrest him for having harmed Winslow. He's our prisoner. Stays our prisoner. The other one gets to go. This one has done egregious harm against a well, they all sort of possibly killed somebody here in town.
I know.
Doc,
I'm just.
Doc, the call is yours.
I know what I want, but I don't know if I don't think that's right. I mean, I'm just angry. I shouldn't be the person to decide.
Lottie looks at Salinger.
I'd like everyone to roll insight.
It's my best thing.
It is your best thing.
Nice job. Holy shit, guy.
No.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Certainly Casey, Shalati and Casey. You notice that Bethedrian's watching Ava very carefully through this exchange. He hasn't offered any input, but he's watching Ava sort of in the way, Shalati, that you watch someone that you've been training to fight, or someone that you're, some reasons.
I mean,
She kind of side eyes the verdict and then looks back at Ava.
they all attacked the town, and it's not like I can. Other people got hurt, and some people got killed, and it's not any fair just because it's someone that I knew better, and you can't, and I'm not going to do anything to hurt him, so it doesn't. All of them that did something bad should be punished, but that's not my decision. So whoever you let go, that's fine.
She looks back at, she side eyes the verdict again.
You don't see any judgment. You're seeing interest. There's not really expectation. There is like a nurturing interest. Expression.
7:30. You had a lot. Oh,
Sorry, just with that, she's really still angry, but I guess being done with offering stuff and not knowing what else to do, she's just going to go back and finish trying to treat whatever injuries on both of them, whichever one still needs to be injured. She's just not happy, you can tell.
Which one still needs to be injured?
Oh, no, sorry, whichever one needs to be healed. Sorry. Yeah, that was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, just like slowly like helping their arm and then suddenly start twisting it behind their back like
the bandage gets tightened tighter and tighter until the arm falls off. Charlotte looks at Salinger and says, "You have a lot to say about the justice and wartime or something. Do you have any opinions on which one should go?"
Well, you know me, when I get started, I always have a lot to say. I don't know. Justice to me is repairing the wrong you did. Sending that message back, giving a chance at peace. If there is one, that feels just.
No. Doc made the call, and I agree.
I'm just glad I don't know if one of them killed Shellen or some of the other ones. I don't remember.
Trevor,
At least
Shannon, and Pelican.
Yeah, Johnny, Bonnie, and
and
Tom,
the
Dick,
other one.
and Harry.
We only have one job. Just remember those men's names.
To remember where they have gone.
They died as they lived. Forgotten.
Anonymously.
I'm smiling too hard. My face hurts.
Shall we take him back now then? I guess it's probably the easiest one to do, the one that you were talking with.
Yeah. I mean, the sooner they get the message, the sooner we don't have to worry about them coming back into town.
This is true.
Would it not be better to get a little sleep ourselves, though? Or, we're just gonna go
We're
right
not
back in?
Not going to talk right now, just to send the message.
Well, we could
All
sleep
right.
on it and send them in the morning, and then I could follow them invisibly.
Oh, I like that plan.
I don't.
Well, me and someone else can follow them invisibly. Preferably somebody who speaks their language.
I agree with Shalati.
Why not? Why not wait and tail them in the morning?
Yeah.
What if they send a second wave tonight? What if that was testing our metal and then the
Our
next
metal is tested.
something? Well, yeah, I mean, we did pretty well, but when we're sleeping, I'm a terrible fighter when I'm sleeping.
I have sentries I posted, keeping watch tonight. We're certainly not take for granted the idea that these creatures will not attack again.
It won't take that long to get back then.
Their first skirmish has been repelled.
Shalati and I can take this one to the chasm. Send him back with our message.
Charlotte looks briefly panicked and then smooths it over the expression.
And then this one,
We hang on to.
The
At least we
Thedrian
need to
says,
send a second message.
Thedrian says,
Evo, do you want?
something to consider. You send this creature back now to deliver your message. There's, I presume, a reasonable chance their leader, this priest, will want to parley. Important information could be gleaned from that. However, if you don't send him back, then as far as they know, they sent their men here, and they never returned. And that itself was a message as well.
We just have to find the message that they respect the most, though, right?
I just wish there was some part of this message that really included the, please stop with the dangerous world-ending cult mentality, because I just don't see where that line in the sand gets undrawn.
I think the message of get up and go is a little bit gonna easier than, theologizing at them.
Yeah, I don't think that they should have to adhere to the agnostic nature of Lux. They're allowed their own religions, so long as they're not bothering anyone with them, yeah.
You saw the pit of bodies.
That's bothering people with them.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to have both. Less bodies, belief.
Less
Different
bodies,
bodies?
Maria? Not,
Less
not
bodies.
no
No.
bodies?
There's bodies already. I mean, none more. or their own bodies, if they so choose.
It'll be an interesting conversation.
I am curious, though.
I just want to know tonight or tomorrow.
I mean, send the messenger tonight. I thought that sounded like a good plan. Then they might not attack again. If Thedron's right, that they might be able to parlay, might be willing to. Right, but we keep the other one as hostage, even though that's a gross word. But also, hey, if everything comes good, then he gets let go too.
No, I think we should send him tomorrow. We can
I think-
sleep, and then we just send him ahead and tell him to meet immediately. That way there's no delay, and if anything happens, we're ready to go right then.
We're just gonna send his head now?
No.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
I mean, won't the door knocker be ready tomorrow?
Even if it is the creature that we're preparing it for, we didn't exactly tell him a specific day that we would be out there. Esmond's been working on it, and this should only take a delay of hopefully a very short period of time. And this will let him complete the device anyway, so...
Doc's right.
All right. And then she picks up the gag and binds it around the kobold again.
Casey puffs up again and speaks in Ignan to the two of them. We're going to send one of you free in the morning to bring our message back to your priest. Hang tight until then, yeah? Because the alternative's not pretty. Casey will come back to the group, and so in the morning we'll send our messenger and have a conversation, yeah?
Yeah.
I think Charlotte, even knowing full well they won't understand her, says to them, "If you escape, I will find you. I will hunt you down, and then I will snap your neck like I should have."
I feel like they got that message even if they don't understand a word you said.
Yeah, Casey will grin at her, and then the two of them kind of nod.
And I guess she'll head out.
Same.
Well, we need a guard on them for the night, yeah. Hell, I'll stay.
I mean, don't stay up on that, Casey. Anybody could raise an alarm. Have a rotation of some folk.
I mean, we
Well-
have a guarded rotation for the walls.
We also have Papa who's nocturnal. She'll be fine. Won't keep me up for a change.
Yeah, let's
Probably
all
won't eat the kobold, but might, he says as he leans into the kobold a little bit.
As long as we have someone watching them.
And Thedrian says, "I'll be at the southern gates, just in case those creatures attack again in the night." Yes.
I guess Charlotte will disperse.
Not too long after the others have gone. Casey, the one that's tied up that you were talking to before, it kind of stirs.
Casey will move over and kind of pull the gag out of his mouth.
What
is it?
tomorrow?
What do you mean? What is tomorrow?
What does tomorrow mean?
It's the day after this one.
What is day?
Do you know time? The
Mm,
passage of time?
Yes.
So, as time passes, there are days.
Mhm.
So tomorrow is the day after this one.
Stares blankly. Right. What you come to priest? You priestess. Priestess, I will return.
Yeah, I'm sure your priest says a lot of things.
Yes. You know, priest.
Yeah, but he may not know what he's talking about.
Huh? Priest knows many things. Yeah. Cool.
But he sent you against us, right? And you saw what happened? Maybe your priest doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yes. Strong. We bring treasure back.
No, he sent your people to die against us.
Yeah, we're strong.
Your priest doesn't know what he's talking about. I do.
What do you mean? You know secrets.
Yeah.
You know fire?
I know fire.
You're king of our people.
Tomorrow, I'll talk to your priest. And then we'll see what's what.
Nods very slowly. Clearly has no idea still has no idea what tomorrow means, but tomorrow. Let's see.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Alright. Later
Can
in
I
that
do a
evening.
little thing with? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, good. What'd you want to do?
Just a little thing with Yev, like 2 minutes of that.
Yeah, sure. He would be at the Wanderlust.
When she finds him and like there's actually a minute to talk, she puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "I'm proud of you for finding Esmond, telling the others. That was a good call."
Yeah, he's in one of the beds, and he's like bandaged because he had like the arrows in him. And I was so worried. Didn't, you had been gone for so long. And then they were all there, and they were shooting arrows, and
There were so many of them. You couldn't. One person alone, you couldn't have done anything. So it was good that you ran.
Really, fighting is more scary than I thought it would be. It's like the big Oranokus. I was so scared, but I wanted to be brave too. But
I think it is probably good to be scared. I mean, it's supposed to keep you alive.
But it was different. And then the big Oranokus, I mean, you were there, and you're strong, and I was scared, but this time you weren't. I had to do it by myself, and it's different.
It is. It feels pretty different being there alone. Which is why I'm glad you went and got help, because then you weren't alone. I'm sorry we left you behind like that, but I think you did the right thing.
Someone had to watch the back. And weren't the others?
That's exactly why you stayed. They wouldn't have known otherwise. Then the kobolds would have come out, and they would have probably gotten a lot more people. So.
Glad that you're safe now.
But you see why, when I tell you that we do need people to stay behind to watch the town, it's not just trying to fob you off. I mean, it's a little that, but it's not totally just that.
I understand. I know you don't want what happened to the family to happen to me.
Yes.
I don't want it to happen to you either.
She doesn't really say anything to this. She just pats him on the leg if he's in the bed. She pats him on the knee, and then says, "I am. We're going to go back to the chasm tomorrow to see if we can talk with the big one. I think it's supposed to be the big one, some kind of leader, anyway. So you should rest up. I'm going to do so as well."
Did you really talk to her?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Did you really talk to her?
Sorry, I still don't understand.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, maybe to be quiet. Did you really talk to her?
Her? Tala?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It was her. It was her voice, and it was how she always acted.
Do you think we can talk to the others?
I don't know. She said something. There was no one else. Except for one guy. Who she said was mean, and there's not anyone I recognize. Or at least that is what Cypher said. She said. Um, but she did. It did not sound like there were many others, so I don't know where the others are. Or maybe she got stuck somewhere else and they're somewhere else entirely.
What do you think it means?
Yeah, I have no clue what any of all of this means. I am just trying to keep people they love alive. I think the
Sure.
tower is probably a big cause of all of this, and that is the best that I can tell.
I hope they are okay.
Me too.
Okay, I have to sleep, but the shoulder hurts.
I'm surprised Neva did not come by to help you with this.
No, it did. But
I suppose there's only so much effort, energy she can spend. Or maybe Aurea, but she was very busy yesterday too. I think she's gonna dig around in her pack, or like at the pouch at her belt. Maybe left. No, she does. Um, she'll pull out a little bottle filled with a red fluid. Little bits of herbs and stuff from the homemade nature, or the it looks like it was either maybe it's Lily's work, or maybe it was some wine left over from Fizzer Teredian's stash. Hands it to him and says, "I've been through so much. Or if you find yourself full of arrows again."
you don't need it.
Eh, I seem to always get into fights with either Ava or Rhea around, and they take very good care of me.
Yeah. This would have taken a long time to heal if not for the help. I think I will be better in just a few days.
But someone needs to deal with savagery.
Oof, I don't know how grandfather ever so big. Okay,
Well,
sleep.
yes. Go sleep. I will too.
Eva. There's a knock late on the visitor door, if you're there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, she's I guess probably finishing up and had planned to go home soon to get some rest. She answers the door.
Lily's already gone home after you told her what happened with Winslow. And you open the door. It's Peach.
Oh, hey, are you okay?
Sorry, I didn't know it was going to be Peach.
Who did you think you were gonna be?
Hey, sorry to be calling on you so late.
Yeah, no, that's are you okay? Come on in. Come on, yeah.
Peach would follow Ava's side. This is still such spooky music.
Sorry, it's the only record I have.
Oh my god. Yeah, you always were an emo kid, weren't you? I was wondering, do you still have Gilgain's books around? I know you sort of raided the school area once everything got, well, you know, when all the horribleness occurred.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've got a lot. I mean, I think some other people have got some. I know Kabeth always seems like to like books. What are you looking for? Anything specific? And she starts leading her towards like an area where it has a bookshelf that has books sort of neatly aligned and some sort of stacked on top with makeshift book ends to sort of keep them upright, and then a few of them that couldn't go anywhere else are kind of like stacked up around there in as tidy a way as possible.
Wow, I was thinking that I might hit Quebec's library too, but it looks like you have more books than I've ever read in my entire life. So this might be a good start. I'm looking
Yeah.
for the basic stuff. I feel like you and Iz, like you can like actually use Peach gestures and creates just a shower of sparks from her fingertips. Like magic.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a great book about it. I've gone over it a few times. It helped me so much to begin with. I've got it, and she starts to pull out probably a relatively large book, um, that has been well taken care of, and uh, right beside it, she pulls off like a little journal as well that has, and sort of sets it back aside. They both come out together. She's setting it back, saying, "That's my. I took notes from the book. There's a lot to learn." This one is like it's all about the basics, and like um, it just sort of helps you to identify and understand. Like, well, I mean, obviously you're gonna read it, and she's like handing you the book as she's talking about it. So like, but it just helps to identify the foundations of magic and sort of helps you to understand your connections with it. And like if you can already, since you can already do that, she like gestures towards the spark. Like
Yeah,
that's
I feel that there's something there. I just don't know what to do with it.
yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
tried with those kobolds. I tried that. I don't know that trick with the tart and the feather, and nothing happened. And the next thing I see, Casey's got a ball jumping from just being electrics, and then being fire, and then being electrics again, and then being a poison cloud. I just, I don't want to bring anybody down.
Well, no, I don't think you. That's not. That doesn't happen. I don't think you do. Like, um, like Shalati doesn't use a ton of magic, but obviously, like, she never brings anybody. Like, everyone brings something, so you don't bring anybody down. But like, if you want to learn more, this can help us to understand it. But the first thing you have to do is like understand that you are learning this, and like you can't think about and compare to like Casey or Ez or anyone else, like because everybody has a different kind of connection to this, and you learn in different ways and over different times, and it's just one of those things. So don't worry about the crazy stuff that Casey can do, which that does sound. I mean, he can do some kind of crazy things. It seems like he just makes knives
I
somehow.
I know you weren't there. I can make a knife, and she pulls out a very elaborate knife out of nowhere. But then nothing happens. She kind of tosses it at Ava's wall, and it disappears midway through the arc.
Wow. Oh, um, maybe you're
Why are
close to the.
Casey's knives real?
I don't, I don't know, but like maybe you're close with that. I don't know how to do the knife thing specifically, but like, do you have anything? What about magic? Like, here, we've got some time, so if you want to sit down, like, tell me, like, what do you wanna learn, and like, what do you feel about magic, and like, just tell me. Maybe I can offer some tips for stuff in addition to like what you'll read in the book.
Uh, I want to be able to protect myself and help other folks too. I want to be able to boost people up, but I know how to. Feels like half the time I send encouragement somebody's way, they fall off the cliff.
Mm, well, there's always going to be a limitation to. Well, I shouldn't say that. Um, I think that with enough magic, you can do just about anything. But like, that's years and years and like years of study that like I don't think many people ever get to. But like there's going to be a limitation to anything that we can do when you're first learning, like all of us. So you can't look at the result of what happens and determine like you maybe you did help and it like would have been worse if you hadn't done something, like maybe they would have fallen off the cliff, but they fell just a little bit slower, or they were able to like grab hold of something when otherwise they would have just like gone completely over. So it's not like, yeah, it's not a binary or helping or not. So that's something to keep in mind. But it sounds like you're interested in abjuration, which helps to kind of protect things, and that's kind of what it's known for. And like she opens the book, and like this sort of like goes over some of that stuff. That's a few chapters in. That was a little beyond some of the basics, but like that would be one that I think would interest you. Probably.
Yeah, thank you, Ava, for getting me started with this. I never really properly paid attention when Gilgain taught us any of this. I kind of figured I'd either, work at the Wanderlust or, get swept off on by some cute guy passing through. Didn't really figure I'd need to know this sort of thing, but I don't wanna let anybody down. And you shoulda. Oh, it was bad, Doc. I was halfway across this rope bridge, and then it was very sad and like so stupid. It was funny.
What?
I don't want to be the load that gets dropped again.
How did you How did you get out of it?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, okay.
Some magic happened. I don't even know what it was.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds like you're pretty intuitive, like more of an intuitive caster. So it talks about this at the beginning, but that means you're either going to have like innate magic. They're not binary, they're not exclusive. Like people can have overlaps between them. Like I have some knowledge-based magic, but I mostly haven't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so it's either innate or a little bit of just intuition and sort of feeling things out, and it sounds like that's when it manifests. Anyway, I'll give you the book, and like you can get started. Just don't try to stay up all night reading it, and know that it's gonna take time, and just be patient and feel free to ask questions. I know something about it, and Esmond probably has different ideas about it, and maybe you could. I mean, we're all gonna like be happy to help, and you're doing great. I think so far. We're always lucky to have you around. I think that you shouldn't underestimate the power of just being encouraging sometimes.
Thanks, Doc. I appreciate it. And she'll grab the book and head on out.
Night.
Casey. It's pretty late in the night. You see two of the dock workers approach the farmhouse. Yeah, and say, Vedrian asked to, was looking for you. Seemed very important. Going to talk to you about something.
The verdict asked you to find me?
Yeah, so he was looking for you. Didn't say what about, though.
Well, I'm not exactly hard to find. If he wants to talk, he can come and talk.
Well, he's at the mayor's house. Something. It's got all his books and all the maps and all that.
Yeah, that's great. I'll be here if he wants to talk.
We kind of glance at each other.
Thanks for coming by. Closes the door.
Kind of hear some murmuring, kind of outside, and then footsteps kind of leading away.
Moose. What are we gonna do? This verdict. Soon as will be done with his projects, and hopefully this verdict will be on his way, and we can get on with our life.
Let's see. Salinger.
What'd I do? Am I in trouble?
You're probably poring over your books in your room in the Wanderlust. Looking for maybe more information on the things you had been curious about. And there's a knock at your door.
It's late. I'm reading. I already have my mud mask on.
Araya, you hear that through the door.
Sal.
Oh, yeah, come on in.
I brought us some tea. She comes in like with a book under one arm and balancing two very nice teacups with her. It's the kind that helps you sleep. So it's okay.
Good. After the day, I'm gonna need that.
Me too. I'm so excited. I don't think I can sleep.
That's a lot to take in.
No, but I mean, I'm trying to concentrate on the really good parts.
Really good parts.
Yeah.
Good part would have been if there hadn't been any attacks and we'd had days to just go through that place, right?
Oh, if we could just go through all the ruins again. There's more. Okay, so I understand the need to protect the town and that we really should close down all entryways down, but the ruins though, there's so much that we could learn, and just to like cut off all contact possibly with this whole civilization that follows the god of the craftsman. I feel it might be a missed opportunity.
And it's right under our feet.
This whole time!
It's been right under our feet.
Well, obviously, this whole time you've seen how long those things have been there.
Yeah.
Why don't they ever just come up? It's not like it was that far away.
That's a weird thing. That's what keeps sticking in my craw. Been right under us this whole time. They never came up to even say,
Yeah.
grab a snack.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they do come up and they hate us.
Nah, I didn't get that vibe.
I didn't get any. Well.
Well, I didn't see what you saw.
Oh, let me tell you. So, over a hearth of magma, because it was still underground, so it's not actually lava just yet. Magma. An amazing anvil. Using the magma to heat the metal to craft not very graceful weapons. You've seen the one that Shalati has.
Hold on. Paint me a picture. We got the color palette of this magma. We got
Magma.
this reflective metallic skin on this.
Well, it was more like raw iron, not polished iron. Does that make sense? It's like rock but harder, more hard than rock. Metal rock skin.
That's cool though.
Huge though, bigger than any. I mean, we've seen a couple Dragonborn around town and that come and visit the temple, surely, but none this size. This size he was huge, and we were invisible, and Shalati was like, oh, yes, let's go check that stuff out. She was pulling me closer, but I was a little worried, and then I got more worried when Casey translated the stuff on the sacrificial pedestal, and it's the sacrifice. I don't necessarily condone the sacrifice unless they're willing sacrifices, which does happen.
Yeah. I can't imagine the belief system it would take to willingly walk into a pit of other severed limbs, though. I mean, how bad is whatever you're dying to prevent to want to do that?
Well, I don't think that they're dying to prevent it. I think that they're dying to empower and strengthen themselves. You would
Based
die.
on,
You would die to help others, and maybe it's that kind of perspective.
well, I would still try to avoid it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, if I could just get maimed to help others, that'd be preferable.
Oh, okay. If you were to be maimed, would it be your mustache or your eye?
That is a nearly impossible choice.
I
The
thought.
mustache grows back, so
Okay, ear, eye. Limb or other limb.
ear over eye, because I could adjust the hairstyle.
Yeah, side swept look would.
Toe over fingers, similar reasons. You gotta
Boots.
stay presentable, even when you go through this whole
But
hero's journey we're on, if you will.
just think of the prosthetic that Ez could make you and how fashionable that would be. So maybe losing a.
Yeah, maybe. I think you've been reading a good bit from this old craftsman god stuff, haven't you? What you been digging into, trying to rebuild?
She like she pulls the book from underneath her arm. No, so I mean it's all well, it's not like their customs or practices are really in this. It's kind of just, a footnote. It's not like the people that practice the religion wrote the book. I wish that they had, though. But this is some of what I found. You want to know what I suspect?
Sal slowly picks up a little cup of tea, sips loudly enough to send a long-told message whenever we have drinks together that, yes, spill all the tea. Please tell me your thoughts.
I think that Kebeth's hearth is kind of related to this. That her fire. There's a craftsman's, basically a temple to a god of craftsmen beneath our town. And her fire begins to speak to her. What are the chances?
I don't know if that's a stretch or if I'm just not mentally flexible enough to follow.
It's right there and there. The fires are connected. Well, like sources of water are connected. Perhaps the energy is connected. It's so close. It talks to her. It's blacksmiths. I mean, she's not working with magma, but it's fire. And she doesn't have to do a sacrifice. Or maybe Sal. She hurt herself over the hearth. Like an injury. I keep calling it hearth. I mean, the forge. She hurt herself in the forge. She sacrificed blood and flesh to the forge. It's not a stretch. Tell me I'm not. I know you're more interested in the historical side of this thing, but just think, it's a leap of faith, that this and that. Interconnectivity of our beliefs.
I just wanted to see how far you would go with me saying that it doesn't make sense before you start to doubt yourself. But as usual, no, yeah, you're probably onto something.
I really wanted to talk to Kebeth about it, but then I'm also kind of worried because I don't want her to associate the forge that she only just started to go back to with kobolds attacking the town.
Yeah. Or a spark of a flame of some other thing. Yeah, who knows? I am worried about it, though. Now, like you said, books written by non-practitioners of a thing are not always as accurate. as maybe a first-hand telling might be, or at least be different.
Yeah.
But there's no version of the story of the World Forge in Luxian history that ain't bad news, no matter who told it. You sure that Forge God and the World Forge even related?
Well, that's an entirely different question.
Okay. So one just happened to set up shop on top of the other. As we went through that ruin is where you saw the symbols to that craftsman god.
Right.
And then once we got deeper, we saw those sacrifices.
Yeah.
And that's something else.
Well, but the
Don't
don't you kind of
out of character clarification? The symbols were the same. So
Okay.
yeah, the symbol on
The
the wall
world-
is the same as the one on the obelisk.
yes, but it, not necessarily a symbol of the World Forge.
So Salinger was the one who made that connection. Your association with that symbol is for the cult, but they are the same symbol.
Oh, okay. Well, no, but so Sal, don't you kind of think that we're living in a kind of apocalypse right now that isn't necessarily the World Forge?
Well, sort. Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Right?
sky changing colors and
Mhm.
the oceans becoming impassable because of endless storms is a little different than the world catching a blaze, which is one of the core threads amongst that particular version of an end of days.
Why? Why setting the world ablaze? Is it to change it?
I mean, that's how you forge anything, right? Heat it up, melt it down, reshape it into something new.
Well, is burning away something to heal it? You cauterize wounds. What if we need what if the tower into our world is a wound that needs cauterizing? No, this is that it might
There's too many moving pieces.
yeah, that's a lot of moving pieces. I just feel that a lot's wrong, and I think that it's going to take strength more than us as just people can summon. I think that the gods will have to play a necessary role in saving us. In saving the whole of us, not just a person here and there. I think a tower fell from the sky and pierced our world, and it's falling to pieces.
What we can see of it, our little corner.
Our corner is closest to the falling part of the tower, yes.
Mm-hmm. I hate to channel Casey here, but he would say we don't need any gods to save us.
We certainly do need gods. You can't mend the world with just our hands. We sent an army up there, and they're... I don't know.
Hopefully still there fighting. It's hard to think of the big things when we're in a little place that feels stuck here.
Do you still feel stuck here? Even with wonderful ruins just beneath our feet?
A little less, but that's still somewhere else, right? You know I've talked my whole life about how I was going to get out of Shepherd's End as soon as I could.
Well, we're gonna go hunt a necromancer, so...
We seem to just keep getting pulled back. It's like this place is a nexus or a big old magnet or a fishing line that keeps pulling us right back in these walls.
Well, it's
Some
more
big
like
old monster.
a sack of helpless kittens that need our help.
Stack helpless kittens.
They're all kittens.
More bunnies and kittens.
Oh, there's a lot more bunnies.
We keep losing people. I hope you're right that we can reason with them, that Maybe the whole old cult thing is a misunderstanding from so long ago. These folks are different.
I
Be
do
nice
think,
to gain some friends instead of more death.
well, I think that possibly their belief could be something that could mend the world. That maybe their interpretation of the text could lead them to something that they see something greater than what they have imagined has happened, that maybe their belief in their God could aid, and that the world would be changed through it. Or maybe they're just bloodthirsty and are... No, that just...
Yeah, don't do
No.
that. That's not you.
No, I don't want to be so naive to think that I could walk in there with empty hands and be okay.
You ain't naive, Aurea. You're hopeful when most people aren't. Okay, maybe there's some similarities there, but you know what I mean.
Well, then what do you consider yourself? Because I find you to be quite optimistic and understanding and open-minded.
I don't know about hopeful. Curious. Constantly wondering what other people see the world as.
But that means that you haven't decided what the world is as yet, right? I mean, if you want to know what others consider it, your opinion of it and its shape hasn't cemented.
No, absolutely not.
So
Everything we taught, everything we learned, it's just reinforce the notion that we don't know much, and what we do know is half remembered and written down poorly with often inaccurate illustrations.
very inaccurate illustrations.
Yours are pretty good,
Sometimes
though. Those
laughable.
drawings you added,
This one's upside down.
yeah, look just like it. If I could zoom out from where we were, like turn a little bird and fly backwards, I think that's exactly what it looked like.
Yes. I wish I spoke their language, but it seems like Celestial is the wrong one.
Hmm.
What do you speak?
Well,
What
a
did you
couple
learn?
different things, but none of them super well. I got bogged down in dialects on several. Giant, I'm okay with. That family thing though. I spoke that sometimes growing up. Dwarf, dwarven.
I don't mean to disparage them. I'm still just a little bit grumpy that they blamed it all on me. I'll get over it, I
They
promise.
they called you a demon and wanted to kill you. I can understand there being hurt feelings there.
A little bit. Not anything new, though.
They didn't treat you like that at the temple, did they?
It's complicated. Saul Luis was generous and kind.
That's it.
And I'm trying to remember the bunny's name.
Albina.
Albina, too. She was really the only one my age that didn't come with kind of like a preconceived notion of who I am. So I like your open mind.
Well, I don't know. Pops used to tell me to stop acting like a little old man. Said I thought about things like I was crotchety and old like those dwarves at the bar. That's probably why he dragged me along.
I thought you were the youngest one of us all.
I am
Mm-hmm.
in years. I was trying to explain the math to Shalala.
Of
She got it all twisted.
maturity or of final growth height?
Culturally speaking.
Mm.
Traditionally, and this is only a couple generations back at this point, because furbolgs live a while. I'd be about 15, because adulthood is about 30 years. It's the same amount of time, but I've just got more growing to do. So that's all.
That's really all. You'll get taller.
Voice
Do
will
you
get a
get
little deeper. I'll get taller and be able to grow in faster. All the standard stuff.
I know you were trying to just look out for Yev. And obviously he did a wonderful job and we shouldn't treat him like a child. I don't think there are very many untempered young people in the town anymore.
No,
But
it's capable.
But it doesn't stop you from wanting to protect them all so that they can remain kind of innocent to these harder things.
If there's one thing the last few months have taught me, one lie that I've been fed, that I no longer believe at all, it's that we can really protect anything. Not really. Let him live. Let him fight with us. Let him try what he wants, and we'll support him as best we can. That's all. Only reason I gave a nudge, because, I mean, what if he was in the town, one of those kobolds got him, and he never even got to go on one of those little adventures with us? What a waste. What a shame. I don't know.
Just
Maybe I
like,
pushed Shalati too hard on that one.
I think. Well, wait. Out of character. You have siblings.
No.
Well, I think that, you know, she's lost her sister, and it's made her feel the potentiality of such a loss even more acutely. And maybe you and I, well, I try to understand what I don't necessarily have, and you just imagine yourself as Yev and not allowed to go on the adventure that you've been dreaming about your whole childhood.
Yeah. Still haven't.
You fought a dinosaur. You have a dinosaur.
I befriended a dinosaur. But really, the preconceived notion of dinosaur is more reptilian. Poppy's a lot more avian than that.
Yeah.
Kind of reductionist term.
Oh, sorry. It's just you have had more adventure and made more adventure here in town than many of the folks who have written the books that we read about have. Pretend our world isn't pierced by a tower. Where's the first place you wanted to go?
Capital. Biggest theater. Listen to the music echo through the walls of that place.
The whole wide world, and you want to go to a town?
I want to go to a city. I want to go to a place big enough to fit me in it, instead of Shepherd's Inn. That's where I go first. You said first. There's a long list after that. I gotta.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna open up my whole journal of places I plan to go right in the middle. Just tell you
Do
the
you have a
first one.
journal?
That's what you asked for.
Oh, I mean, show
No,
me the
he
first
says
page
he
of the
like
journal.
closes his drawer.
Still.
Anyway, we'll figure it out. Whether your gods will save us or whether their gods will kill us.
Yeah. Well,
Find out tomorrow, won't we?
I think that the gods have a vested interest in our world surviving until tomorrow.
I just hope we have the same image in our minds.
If you believe strong enough, yes.
I mean, of what the world should be when it's saved.
Well, didn't you just say that there's no saving anything?
I said protecting. Protecting's different from saving.
Oh.
All right, I think we can end with that.
So you pull out the window from the room in the Wanderlust and move through the alleys in the small town. Ava.
Here.
It's late at night. You're making your way home after working the Physiker. Catch some voices at the edge of your hearing down an alleyway on your left. He just wouldn't leave the door. We tried to get him to go, but he just wouldn't. He wouldn't leave. I tried everything I could do, and what else was I gonna say?
I mean, she pauses, hearing the voices, and sort of turns and looks, sort of like walks towards the alley to see who's down there.
And you kind of turn, you look down that way. There's a stack of crates. You see two of the dock workers, two of the town guards. You know, they're holding their spears, and they got their bit of padded armor on that you guys have given them. They're talking to a third figure. But you can't see who that is.
Yeah. Have they seen her? Oh, go ahead.
They haven't seen you yet because you're at the far end of the alley. If you made your way down the alley, they would definitely see you.
Yeah. She recognizes the people, I guess. She's on her way home, so she's pretty tired, but she's just gonna go and talk to these are people that she's known her whole life, right?
The dock workers, I mean, you know them in that they protect the town now, but these were sailors who came to the Shepherd's End on ships and got stranded here, so they're not from Shepherd's End.
Okay, yeah, she walks down the alley towards them.
Yeah, as you start walking that way, one of them starts to talk, and he says, I don't know if I should hold on to this, like, what if... And he stops, and he looks down your way, he says, Doc, hello. And there's the other one, like, glances your way, and glances back toward the figure, like, that you can't see. You kind of hear some footsteps in the street, and then one of them steps towards you and says, thank you so much earlier for helping with everything. And he kind of glances back over his shoulder and then looks back at you. He's kind of blocking the way.
Yeah, I don't think that she seems overly suspicious. She just she nods towards him and says, yeah, of course. Like, glad you could help. Just wanted to say, I was really sorry. I know you probably knew some of the people that we lost today, and just, wanted to give my condolences and say sorry about that. I know it's not easy, so, but, yeah.
Yeah, good man. Yeah, not fair what happened.
No, it's not. I know it's kind of a strange question, but, like, if you know of anything that they liked, I like to put plants on top of the graves to sort of, make it look a little nicer. So if there's anything you knew about that or something that you think would be nice to do for them, just as a memorial or whatever, just let me know, or let any of us know. We'll be happy to help. But anyway, she looks around to the two of them. Did someone leave? Oh, I'm sorry.
People coming and going.
If I was intruding, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. Anyway, just wanted to offer that. So I'm sorry. Have a good night. Take care, and I'll see you, okay?
Yeah. Go on, Doc. Just know if you need anything.
Yep. So she turns and she starts to leave.
Nice. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Alright. Sorry, I couldn't think of any reason why she would be suspicious of people in town in order to investigate.
No.
You're suppressing all of your Ethan instincts.
Oh, yeah.
True to your character.
Yeah, it was, is, as a player, upsetting to know that there was a third person, and I couldn't think of a single fucking reason why my character would make any effort whatsoever to figure out who they were. Yep. So just had to. That sucked.
Oh,
Aw.
that's where
You played true
where the
to
dice
Ava,
fall.
though.
Yeah, thanks. Sean and Jess, by the way, that was wonderful. Jess, I think that's the most excited I can remember and engaged I can remember Araya like feeling about these things, and she's just so into it. I loved that.
Talking about the gods.
Also, how does Araya have chemistry with everybody? For a girl who's like, you
I
know,
don't have chemistry with a single person. I'm just being friendly.
Oh my god.
That's how. That was it. That was the thing that Araya does.
exactly. Oh, I'm all about the goddess. I'm untouchable and adorable.
I was just thinking with this hat on, she definitely has to have like a nighttime horn cozy.
Don't you want to join our
Um,
call?
They're crocheted, like, crocheted, like,
Little like
collar.
Oh man, I want to draw like slumber party art of the people who crash at the Wanderlust in their jammies. That would be great.
I love it.
Ah.
I still want to draw everybody's like prom dresses. I haven't had time for any of it.
I, for one, can't wait for Salinger's voice to drop.
He's
I
gonna
know.
Go
have
through
That'd be
puberty because it's going to be such a wonderful experience.
Do it for us, Sean. Make an even lower Salinger voice.
You're gonna have
done
to
it a
use
couple
just one of
times.
those voice modulators.
Make them wait.
Okay, I'll make him wait.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
he already gave.
Yeah, no.
I got to hear a little taste test. Last week, I think.
I'll do a half octave. I mean, I can give a little bit of a preview, but it can go a lot lower than that.
Damn.
But like, yeah, we'll get there. I've done a few giant villains in my campaigns to practice the octave drops that I'm
He's gonna
playing off
pull-
of.
Yeah. I can't wait for him to pull out a Peregrine Took, do not take me for a conjurer of cheap tricks.
Oh man, Base Sal yells at somebody. No, he yelled once.
Who'd he yell at?
He got heated for a minute right after we lost. What was the halfling's name that died of the puddings?
Gilgan, our teacher.
No, the kid.
Oh.
That was already.
Oh.
It was like
Yes.
session 3.
No, Fennel.
Fennel. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there.
It was right after Fennel. I think it was the next session, and somebody saying we shouldn't go back, and he yelled about how it's not knowing what was there that killed Fennel the first time, and that's the only time he's gotten mad.
Sean, now I'm nervous about the message you said. Sean
Oh,
wants to have
No,
Sal yells at
that's
Peach.
different. Yeah, for almost dying. Yeah, I'm not gonna yell at Peach. I'm gonna be pissed at Peach.
I know if I could deal with Sal's like southern disappointment.
Southern disappointment.
I'm gonna burr.
You got 2 weeks. I'm not here next week. It's plenty of time to prepare yourself. It'll be fine.
That's such the dad thing, though. It's like, no, you're off the hook for now, but in
Next-
2 weeks.
Next week, Esmond will cover the.
Esmond's gonna.
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna go from getting yelled at by Esmond to getting yelled at by Salinger.
You know, I'm okay. First of all, super tempted just to like not be there for the day that everybody gets scolded and just bypass.
He did the right thing.
Just no one
Yeah,
shows up.
explore
Just
the
me and Esmond.
Oh man.
It's Kevin playing
Nope.
Esmond and Chris playing
Chris playing-
everyone else.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Chris
Yeah.
doing all of us.
And as soon as he's done, I'm like, all right, guys, it's safe. You all can.
Yes.
And everybody gets an inspiration.
Oh, that would be truly amazing. Yeah. No, because I mean, poor Ez, because I think that one day he'll have to, because he's balancing like the feeling responsible and failing people to feeling responsible for the town remaining safe and us fucking it up. But we were being responsible. He's just mad that the outcome was weird.
Oh, yeah, 4 people died. He's got room to scold for sure. But, like, did we just do a home invasion and then they counterattacked, or...
They snuck around behind us and like zooted our town. Like, we didn't kill anything inside the caves at all.
Well, until they attacked us, yeah.
Until they attacked us. Like we did a walking in some... Sorry, this is very like current news. We drove up their driveway and they shot us.
Yeah,
I feel like as like an observer in terms of the game, not for a character, but had they chased everyone back to the cavern and then everyone crossed and then they like fired but stayed on that side of it, or even had they everyone had run out of the caves and they run out to the cave and like stand there, that's still like, get out of our home, we'll attack you. That's fine. When they spill out from there, climb the walls and start running in, and they attack a tree. I mean, come on. It's a sentient tree.
Well, it just makes me... So Chris is sitting here with like his pile of information, right? But it makes me wonder, like, why they were like, ooh, an opportunity. What's this over here? And not like an investigative adventure, but like an aggressive maneuver of why did they jump straight to like...
Well, during Casey's conversation, I picked up on what I think is the reason when they called us meat. We're just a food source.
Yeah, so like, that's it, right? Like, there's... Because I think Araya had mentioned that. She's like, I didn't really see anything to eat down there. Yeah.
Somebody, who was it? I forget which character theorized maybe they eat rocks, but I definitely remember that from this section.
Oh yeah. So like it being kind of like a resource thing.
I mean, we're struggling for resources, so...
Yeah, no, and that's super true. We should all learn how to grow mushrooms.